Hey, what's going on? We've been doing this series on the Stick Boy channel. I don't know whatever.
I got something for Stick, so don't worry.
We've been doing this series on like where are they now, kind of looking at variants, and actually we're doing pretty well. And then you people in the chat and some idiots, I'm not going to mention who, decided they wanted to do High Republic, waste of time, just like the novel this week. But we're going to do it anyway, so we're going to look at a couple books. We'll have a couple surprises though. Do know that I won't do you dirty ever. I'm always going to give you a little bit of something for the real ones, not the fake ones. Not going to tell you the fake.
This book gave us everything we asked for. Did it do it right?
No,
but it gave us everything we asked for.
Horrible. I've seen
about everything.
That's better. No,
we gave a list of 4 things we
wanted. Hey, you know what it gave it, JJ? This is what I said. It gave us the solution we needed. That phase 2 and 3 were just shit against the wall and had no purpose.
It didn't do an acolyte where it left things wide open. Gave us an ending.
Well, it definitely buried. Buried Vanestra Rowe and made her unimportant as hell. So we won't ever see her.
That was weird.
It's so weird. It was the worst written book I think I've I'm reevaluating who's worse writer, Ireland or Soul at this point. I really am. But we'll get into that later. It's garbage, but it's the only thing Wayseeker likes. So
no, that you'll never get these people on if you talk crap to them all the time. So kind of.
We'd never get either of those two on ever.
I don't like Charles Soule.
Because you already know.
No, hold on. Let's slow down for a minute. I've met Charles Soule multiple times in life, had long-term conversations with him. I don't like the prick, so he wouldn't be coming on anyways. And yeah, I'm okay with not having Ireland on. I don't know her personally, but I don't.
I a good person. Ireland seems like a good person. Charles Soule doesn't seem like a good person.
No, Charles Soule's not a good person.
I would be cool with talking to Ireland because I think she's.
Yeah, I probably would too. I just don't like the decisions she made. But no, Charles Soule's a dick. He's a dick. I mean, and I'm an asshole, so I know. Don't get me wrong, but he's next level. Really, really. But yeah, so we'll get into some of the stuff. I don't know who wants to deal with High Republic stuff, but we mainly phase 1. There's a couple spoiler or special ones in there too. I don't know. We'll see how interested people are. I don't know if they really care. Damn, Mexico beat US, unfortunately. Good game though. Good game. So, what else do we have? JJ's trying to get something ready.
A soccer bro now?
No, but I mean, I always watch I always watch America. It's the greatest country in the world, so I always watch their stuff. But you gotta have a little America. It's 4th of July. I didn't lose any fingers. Got 10 stills.
You said you were going to abstain from the alcohol.
Hmm?
You said you were going to abstain from the alcohol because you've had too much lately. How did that go for you?
Who said that?
You did.
You did.
Shit.
Surprised you didn't blow any fingers off, man.
Gee. Well, I must say I didn't consume as much as I normally did. I think I probably only consumed
baby steps, right? Baby steps.
Yeah, well, okay. The part of the reason was I was going to go out. I didn't realize, but I only had 6 beers of the beer that we drink. But then, people down the street have it. So I probably drank only a case because I never went out and got another one.
Only a case.
Only a case. And then I had a 5th, but I was mixing it with Gatorade and liquid IV. So that's good.
Sure.
That's Wayseeker. That seems
I would have been dead. I would have been dead.
But I mean, this is over a day period, almost 2 days. No, it's 24.
more like 4 hours, to be honest.
No, it wasn't 4 hours. It was for a day.
It was
like a day.
No, it's 4 hours.
It was like a day.
Yeah, July 1st to the 4th. That's what he did. 4 days.
No, it was. But yeah, I mean, today, I only had a couple. Yeah, no. So yeah, I cut back. Just out of convenience, I guess. Hey, GTK Comics, what's going on? Hi, what's up? Did I really say I was going to cut back? I mean, I did, guess, but I don't really keep track that much. Can't wait to see what the Dark Side crew has to say this week. Best Star Wars show. Thank you very much. Happy Sunday, Darksiders. Appreciate it. In order for Star Wars to be more forward, the Blue Bear. Yeah. The Blue Bear's got to... There's a lot of stuff that has to happen. We should have probably just did that. We should have probably just... Especially... I know, Wayseeker's going to get here and geek out because, God forbid, I think Wayseeker feels that if we say that a book is bad, we still won't let him do book reports. And that literally is all Wayseeker wants to do is book reports, right? But at some point, he has to come to a realization that, you just can't keep saying everything because it's not.
I don't think everything is good. I'm pretty critical of Star Wars.
No, you're never. There's never one where you're that book was trash.
No, I have been plenty critical.
When? Name one book you said was trash.
The Honeymoon book. Hate that book.
I don't even remember. Does anyone remember saying that though?
The Mace Windu book. Hated that book from this year.
Yeah, he was pretty down on that.
Oh yeah, you're down on the Mace Windu book, but everybody else is positive. You're in the mind.
I have the books I don't like.
Yeah. See, I was
It's just
I'm
not-
in the minors.
It's just like 1 out of every 10. You don't like 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I
if
think
it wasn't for the show, I question whether Marco would read it. Star Wars books anymore.
no, I would have given up on the
Yeah.
higher polished stuff. I really would have. But it's not. It's arguably bad. Like the general population feels it's arguably bad. So like, I mean, I'm not. It's not like I'm the outsider. You're technically the outsider on this one.
I might be. And I survived DenCon. Yeah, Fan Expo
How
was
it
good.
gone? Was it good?
Oh yeah, how was it? Did you talk to the people I told you to talk to?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, do we gotta talk about it?
I'll show you a picture.
Hey, did they tell you? Did they tell you that was the truth?
No, dude, I saw
They
a picture.
downplayed it.
Police report.
Huh?
They downplayed it, but you could tell they were flattered.
Yeah, you could tell. Yeah, you could tell that. Yeah, they knew what it was. The inside. I told you, man. Don't worry, I got more people going to hit them up about that. They're gonna keep going until it comes out. All right, we'll talk about it later.
Yo, he's got
She's a
a
good kid, man.
he's
She's a good
got-
kid though, right?
But I did. We'll get to the news. I put something in there. I did ask Timothy Zahn about the crazy theory that I said last week about the Chiss and Exegol, and he said I was crazy.
Yeah, and now he has an order of protection against you, man.
He agreed with
He
you,
probably
Marco.
does.
He probably
agreed
does,
with
right?
Marco.
What? What's that?
You asked him one of those nerd questions that the nerds always ask at
He said,
conventions?
"Get out of here."
I definitely added a nerd question to him. Yeah.
Well, what would you say the radius is exegol to the
Oh,
approximate
he
distance
hates
of
that stuff. He hates that stuff. I know you didn't do that.
I did.
Oh my god. So are you banned now? Is he
He
like
hates
can't
you.
come
He hates
back?
us. He hates everybody now.
No,
Thank
he
you.
doesn't hate us. He likes me. He doesn't like Wayseeker though. I can tell. JJ's right. JJ knows him too. Like he does not like that type of question. Did the other one admit to? So like, can we say officially
No.
that she invented the character? She will
No.
not. She still
Cannot
won't
say
put.
that officially.
She won't put 10 toes in on that
No.
one.
No.
She doesn't want to get the hate for that one.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
But she smiled when you said it, did she?
She had a comment back to
Did you ask her what her D&D character was?
No, I didn't get that far.
You
Yeah,
should've
but
said,
he has
well, that's
an
what
order
it's
of
based
protection against him
off
too.
That would have been too nerdy.
That's what it's based off of. That's how you
I
know. it's
believe you,
true.
but that
Yeah.
comment would have been too nerdy.
Yeah, I could have done it. You couldn't do it. You're not very. I mean,
That's too
could you
nerdy.
imagine you talking to somebody, including a
Timothy
female? Like,
Zahn,
no,
Timothy
bro.
Zahn,
That's too
Nerd.
nerdy, but
Look at this
Nah, bro, that's
between exegol and the Chiss planet.
Yeah, he does the
not a nerdy
exegol thing,
question.
but he won't be like, "Hey, this character
Well,
that's."
Timothy
Well,
Zahn
the-
didn't even know that there was a new map that came out, so he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out." Which he's totally not gonna check that out.
Do it, bro. Dom, Wayseeker can never give you crap ever. Dom, you were there. I laid everything down. I said, "Hey, say this, this, and this. Tell her I say hi."
I did the first two, and that I could tell that was enough.
You had to get the third one though. You had to get the alpha.
I did it.
You had to get it on phone.
Oh, man. She probably said, "Get this guy away from me."
Dom would have got it. Dom would have done a curtsy
Yeah,
and
Dom
got
would have
it.
been there.
Dom would have got it done though.
Dom
Wayseeker,
would've been
I don't care.
Dom
He
would
would
have
have
been
got
there
it
for
done.
45 minutes, and he would have got escorted out because he would have got
Dom,
brought over.
This is
so
why I
what?
don't
He
even
still,
tell you
hey, he
guys
still
to
would have
go
got
to
confirmation, Wayseeker, unlike you. All we needed was confirmation.
You know,
All right.
you already have confirmation. You already know it's true.
Well, I already know it's true, but I
So
thought
then
it'd
you
be
don't
cool.
need confirmation.
I'm trying to help you be a little cooler than you are, and God forbid
I'm
you
never
do
going to be
that.
cool. Let's
Oh,
be clear about this.
You're horrible.
That's
All right,
open.
Let's not wade too deep into that water. I'm still waiting on my free stuff from freaking.
I totally am
Celebration
too. I
here
want
that's
my
supposed to be
dump
coming to me.
yeah, I'm going to just knock it all over into a pile now. There's someplace.
I'm pretty sure it got dumped on eBay. I'll never get it.
No. I swear to God, I still have it for you guys. I do. Hey, Dom's stuff is still right here. He's the closest. He's the next one out. That's all I know. All right. I'll probably try it tomorrow. No, I won't.
No, you won't.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's get into comics. This week we had the Yaddle versus Dooku fight that we all knew was going to happen. Wayseeker brought up a semi-good point that I thought we already knew because of what was that series? The one where the Darth Maul series. But apparently,
No, it was
The son of Datamir?
yeah, the son of Datamir when they
wasn't
tortured
it in
him,
Tales of the Jedi?
or was it
No,
Tails?
we're talking
Well,
about
Tails. They fought in Tails.
in this book.
No,
What happens,
No,
Marco?
So like it confirms that there's that. Well, so it kind of confirms that there's 2 apprentices. That there's not the rule of 2. But I always like to understand that Maul was the false. Was the false apprentice because Dooku was already being trained, and in the comic book Son of Dathomir, Sidious pretty much says so while him and Dooku are there, torching him. But I guess now it clarified in this book.
Well, this is way before the Son of Dathomir. This is when Dooku was young, when he first started. So it could be that he had a young Maul. Yeah.
It shows he has 2 apprentices at the same time.
Yes. Okay. Yes, but I thought we already. I mean, you're right in like comic book or in comic show and TV show, whatever, cinematic. We hadn't had that confirmation, but I'm pretty sure in Sons of Dathomir we had the confirmation, right, JJ? It was at least strongly implied.
Yeah. I don't know that Sidious ever really cared about the rule of 2 anyways.
Yeah, I think he just cared about surviving.
I don't think he gave a shit.
I mean, that's what this book makes it seem like. He just didn't care about the rule of 2.
Well,
I mean, when you think of the Vader Luke thing, it kind of makes sense also.
Well, look, and also Vader, whatever other apprentices he had that are not, that they might put in canon for new story down the road. Who knows what, they're probably, it sucks that they change it in the comic book, but usually the comic is the one that usually gets retconned all the time. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
But I mean, I think if you asked Star Wars fans, 50% of them would have thought that there was more than that. Sidious had either Maul was a false apprentice, or he had 2 apprentices, or like I don't think this is like groundbreaking on a.
It's also kind of to me, it's kind of weird that Dooku was Sidious's apprentice, anyways. Like, I get that Sidious probably turned him, but at the same time, like, he's an accomplished Jedi. Like, what are you teaching this dude?
Hey, but did they?
Hold on, slow down, Junior, because Malik was more accomplished than Revan.
No,
he was a senior. Well, he was a senior. Malik was Revan's senior
because he was Squint.
I think Malik is more accomplished.
Squint was always his little sidekick to Revan.
I think. Well, also, I think they changed things too when it comes to Kamir, the stranger, saying about the acolyte and apprentices, like to each character now, because of that character. There's a lot. They changed some of the theories on how many apprentices somebody could have. An acolyte, is that an apprentice? Because they were talking about that Quamir changed some of the Star Wars stuff that
Quamir was never.
No, he said I know
Sith necessarily either.
But he said a false Sith, but he said some people call him Sith. But the whole fact is that now with all these acolytes and that you could have multiple acolytes, it kind of changes the whole thing with the apprentice and type of thing. I don't know. I don't know. It kind of.
Okay. Well, that's something.
That's something.
Yeah.
All right. Decent book, though. Decent read, just nothing great. And then we had the Dark Horse, if you got it in your stores, worst cover art you've ever seen. And that big heavy guy
worse.
Was through the whole book.
This looks like old Dark Horse.
This is like what 90s. Sucked? Yeah, and what sucked was they have a bunch of different TIE fighters in there, and like all different TIE fighter outfits, and they're really cool, but the art's shit, so they're not as cool. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where you're like, oh, dude, they could have made this so cool. And like they could, you know what they could have done? What would have been cool is if they did like this, but in what's the guy that did the tomato cans in Marilyn Monroe? The artist, guys, come on, the guy that wore the white wig. You uncultured sons of guns.
Yep, that's all we are.
Andy Warhol?
Andy Warhol, thank you very much. If they would have done that Madonna Warhol thing, but they would have done it with different
comic artists.
No, with different TIE fighters that they had in the book, in this book, I thought it would have been really cool. It would have been a great cover.
Sticks. I think it might be a first appearance that's important to you, and only you in this world, in this book. There is a character from Resistance that shows up in this comic.
Those pigs?
Von Reg, Major Von Reg.
Oh, Von Reg,
nice.
yeah.
So
That's one of the
I
TIE
don't
Fighter
think-
guys, yeah.
I don't think Major Von Reg has showed up in a comic before. Maybe someplace.
why
I don't
would
know
he?
because I don't care about this character. But as your Resistance fans out there, you might want to pick this one up because
sounds
there's only
like
4
a-
of you. So
But that's also what I'm saying. Yeah, there's one of you.
Four.
I mean,
It's
four.
all
There's
4
not
people.
4. There's one. His name Sticks.
It sticks
I will-
all 4 people. That's why.
I will tell you this: that like Von, like his gear is cool. Like he actually does look good in Resistance, and that's what I'm saying. Like I think it would have been kind of cool if you kind of played out those characters. But
And that dude in the background with Datamir, he looks like a Lobot that was in a trick mirror.
oh yeah, but yeah, he's
oh, bro, it looks worse inside.
he's worse. Worse.
He's got major like pimple head, dude. It's like
it's supposed to be the Mune or whatever, like the Inquisitor, but it doesn't even look like it at all.
yeah, Moon.
At all.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, the story wasn't bad, but whatever. And yeah,
Story-
I don't know
story's
why they
pretty
have those stupid pig thingies in there too. That far, back, but they had them.
So Sticks, get this one. Everybody else pass on it.
All right. Next week we got Legacy of Vader, which I don't know. Hopefully, it gets better than last month because it wasn't that great this last month. So, yeah, that's probably why. 125.
Can we just stop with the 1 in 25s for this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Why is it like Red Riding Hood walking through the?
I don't know. This B cover looks kind of dope actually, but the 1 in 25 is like.
It looks like interior art.
Yeah, okay, I'll stop looking at it because it's hurting my eyes. FOC number 7 for Vader. Once again, the A and B covers don't look that bad.
so this
Good.
is supposedly, I think the issue, if I remember it, go back to that cover. I believe that's a Order 66 survivor that
Yes.
Kylo tracks down. So we have another Order
Another one?
66 survivor,
And
and
he-
he lived all the way past Vader to Kylo. So
Yep.
we just keep
There's
bringing them
Jedis
back.
everywhere. Just in High Republic, nobody dies.
You know those Jedi.
Oh, by
that stayed
Charles
hiding that whole time
Soule.
that war was going.
Nobody was supposed to die in the High Republic. Who told you that? Why would anybody be dying in the High Republic?
Yeah.
We got one death.
One. This is what makes JJ
One.
feel like. Okay. All right. Hey, let's get into comics this week. We might as well get into that section because that's what people really want. You guys asked for it. I don't want to do it, but we're doing High Republic this week because we don't like ratings. So, High Republic 2001, we got the 125. What is it? Suave?
I have this one.
Sway,
Totally graded.
Joshua was
I do. Suave. All right. Raws are going between $14 and $31. This was high, selling for $67 for a 125. 9/8's $45 on average. High low in the last not too long, like in the last couple months. The high of this book was $200 average. The low of this was $20 average. We've seen a bunch of prices between $50 and $40 recently. It was really 56 and like 38. Making its way back up from the $20 average. And I'm talking like 8 to 10. And I think it just got too cheap of a book where people are going like, oh, I finally want to pick up that book. So they're picking it up. But once again, we've talked about this and Dom didn't believe it, but there was a billion of these.
Yeah.
So, I mean, $20 was too low. And, this is a good talking point for some of these books, though. Right now, as Wayseeker knows, he goes to cons and there's like clearance, like buy 2 at half price, get 3 free slabs at 9/8. Know your pricing on these books because you can make money off this. Like, if you get it for free, $50 is $50, dude.
I mean,
Go ahead, JJ.
This is a very much, though, looking at these prices, this is very much a buy the 9/8 right now, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Well, definitely when they were $20.
You
If you were
should
one of
see-
those dozen
I mean,
people
even
that
at
offer
the average.
You should
Yeah.
have seen the long boxes of High Republic that they were selling. Like one seller had 4 long boxes of just High Republic that they were like discounting for $1 or $2.
there you go.
1 in 25s, everything at the thing. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
go
didn't-
pick up the variants. Dude,
You can
for sure.
pick them up. Some of these books really cheap.
Here's the one that sucks because they screwed this one over. Charles Soule's one of the assholes that screwed this book over This was the 1 in 10. It was the first.
What did he
Lord
do with
D.
this one?
I don't know.
Huh?
He had no relation to this
that.
character.
Yeah, no. Somebody asked him in an interview, and he said that's not Laura D. He had no clue what's going on with this book.
I don't think he had a clue what the
He doesn't. He doesn't.
He never read the comics.
Never. It's still the first Laura D. It is because it describes her right in there. 9/8 going for an average of $25. This did average out at a high of $165. Raw is $11. Believe it or not, Raw is going for $11 are crazy for a book that 9/8 selling for $25. You'll see a lot of this in these books. Like, why buy this Raw? I don't understand it. High average.
You're not gonna read it. You're gonna buy the dollar cover, the $1 cover. You want to read it.
Yeah. There is a bunch of like high one. There's a high price of $32 on this that's sold, but like it's wild. Like the real actual average is $11, but there's like a couple high books around the $30 range, which I don't know why people buy the book without looking at other prices, but whatever. Then Dom's favorite here, since he brought it up. Here we go.
Hey, Dwayne, I did see some High Republic cosplay today. I saw one person as Luminous 9, and I saw a couple other as just
everybody sees it.
Yeah. I saw some Avar, and I saw one Elzar.
A lot of people like the Jedi robes of the High Republic, so you see like just
what'd you say?
Generic High Republic looking Jedi.
They look cool. Yeah, so there was a couple that was
But were they the 501st or were they actual fans?
What?
Like, there's a lot of lazy 501st right now that are dressing up in High Republic.
I don't know what
as
they
JJ
were.
says.
I just saw them. I didn't ask you.
Talk to them or take
fan?
pictures. Dude, I swear to God, you're the worst.
Are you a lazy Star Wars fan or are you a real Star Wars fan?
No, you're lazy. Everybody else here, you have no right ever. You're going to the bottom. I'm covering your face up. Dom's get moved up. All right, here. Let me tell you something about Wayseeker. Dom will get cosplay pictures, even if it's perverted ones. He'll get them. Dom will actually ask the questions we tell him to ask celebrities, even if he's bowing to them. Wayseeker, nothing. Nada. Comes back with a whole hand of bullshit. That's what he did. Hey, Dwayne Scott, that's what he did. Bullshit. Where's the pictures? We get pictures from us. We get pictures from Dom. We get pictures from fans of the show.
We never got a picture from JJ. I can tell you that much. And you only gave him like once. You don't get pictures either.
But JJ doesn't. JJ only goes to like card cons. And I don't want pictures from there. And you know,
I take pictures of
Star Wars people trust up there.
I don't ever ask cosplayers for pictures anyway.
No, I don't do that. No,
that's weird to me.
It's weird.
They dress on purpose because of that.
They do. They want you to take
I don't care.
And then they watch the show. So they can see their pictures. You are so bad. All right. Anyways, this is the book.
Don't worry. When I go to San Diego, I will get a shitload of.
Thank you. Bring back a lot of content.
I will bring back a lot of content. And a live content too.
Yeah, live content. Sounds good. Stephanie Hahn. This is the book that started this whole crap because Dom said it's a great book.
I actually like this. I do like this book. So.
The old high average of this was $33. The current average of this is $3, and that's generous because one book sold for $8, but there was a lot of dollar books, but whatever.
I got like 20 of these.
9/8 what?
I got like 20 of these books.
Yeah, so does everybody else.
Yeah,
9/8, their high was $140. Their low is $20. Once again, averaging the last like handful of sales or $45 though.
That's
so like
good.
Yeah, I mean, the key is to buy these books at $20, and it's coming back. Just
you can make money there, but man, it's still a lot of work. It's a lot of work to make.
A lot of work.
$15.
Yeah, for sure. All right, High Republic Avengers #2, first appearance of
your favorite character, the best villain ever.
Yeah, the villain that they turned into shit, Marshawn Rowe. This book was actually doing all right. Well, two things killed this book. One, that they came out with like a Dollar Tree version of it. And number two, Charles Soule killed this book by just making the character fucking worthless. Raw's $3.
Not do that.
At one point, highs were $21.40. Now they're $3, if that. That was just the last sale on this. 9/8 going for $36 when this high used to be $200. Thank you a lot, Charles Soule, for ruining the High Republic. Speaking of that, that's not a variant, but there was a variant of it at the Dollar Tree. So
Buckets of blood. Rest in
Buckets
peace.
of blood. Also, thank you. Spoiler alert. This is the only character Charles Soule actually killed in the High Republic. All right. Buckets of blood. 9/8. This thing used to be as high as $293. But since Charles Soule decided to take his shit all over the Star Wars High Republic, now you can get this for a whopping $70. Raws used to be $67. Believe it or not, this is wild. The Raws on some of these books are still doing well. $20, which is above ratio of this book. That's double ratio.
That's
this is a
pretty good.
1 in 10.
I think I saw this for $2 at the con today. I didn't pick it up.
Oh, you should have picked it up.
Should. I have enough of these. Like, I don't need any more.
You should start dumping some.
Also,
of these.
people may not
you
grade this one because they connect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we all loved this one for a while. The High Republic Trails of Shadow 5, 1 in 25. Was there anything in this?
First cover of the Leveler. That was the. That
Okay.
was
Okay. High's a 210 and 9.8. Now you can either get for $72, $27, or $110. I don't understand how these books are selling.
Whoa.
Well, there you go. Look at that
That's
spread.
crazy.
Look at that spread. Look at that
Why does
spread.
anybody want this book? Period.
Raw is averaging $20 or $2. Those are the last 2 sales in the last 6 months. And then the highs used to average about $50. So
This was the biggest waste of conversation that we had back in the day over first appearance, first cover appearance. It went on for like weeks.
no.
Look-
Keeves is still the biggest waste of appearance because they didn't do shit with that character. Anyways,
No, this is a discussion.
Marchand Rowe too. We had a Marchand Rowe discussion because remember it wasn't like his real face in one book, kind of
Oh
like
yeah,
was.
yeah. We had all those discussions.
Well, considering Charles Soule made that character crap, not worth a damn.
No.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'll talk about Montrell Road in a minute. Let's go through this first about how you can really redeem that character if you make, if you to try to make him more irrelevant.
They might not, Wookie. They might. I'm not going to do you dirty. JJ set us up. I would just like to see. This is the trap that we fell into last week. We let Dom go, and JJ was like fishing. He was just dangling it out there, dangling it out there. And he knew what was going to happen if we start going into High Republics, and he likes the shit on High Republic. So the value of it. So he's dangling it. The minute it got out there, he's like, yeah, we should do High Republic ratios. We should do High Republic variants. He knew what we were doing. And I just said, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I got my stuff suckered into this. All right, next up. I wouldn't even do High Republic Eye of the Storm 1.
I like
people
this
love
cover,
those
man.
colors. I did number 2. Yeah, people love this cover a lot. 9/8 now. This was a high of 345. Oh, fuck.
You remember when you rated Marchand Road just below Thrawn on greatest Star Wars villains at one point?
It was. It was going that way.
Just remember that.
He was actually a very good
He
character
was.
at the beginning.
He was. We're going to talk about it later because I'm going to tell you what I found out afterwards. 9/8's $30. Raws $7.50. This used to be a high raw of $54.
Nope.
Adventures. The cover where they gave you the ugliest thing. By the way, they changed the way the character looked on the B cover. Who was the B cover's character?
Blade.
Porter.
The
Yeah.
Porter.
Yeah.
And they've completely changed how that guy looks. He has now gone from a skinny cook to a fat wannabe. He looks like fucking the panda from Kung Fu Panda. I don't understand. I don't understand. He lost the leg at one point. No, have you seen the latest picture of him, JJ? He looks like Kung Fu Panda.
I really think the High Republic ruined Marco's love of Star Wars more than anything else. He was so high on the High Republic, and now he just hates Star Wars.
Oh, dude,
And
I
it's
don't
only
hate all
because of the High
Stars.
Republic.
I don't hate all
Just
Stars. I just
Most
hate
of the High Republic stuff, they were throwing shit to the wall to see
I like how I
what's there.
suggested High Republic variants and High Republic.
We're getting
I'm leading it into the variant. $9/8 $60. Average is $128. This is actually not doing bad. I had to do this one because it's not doing bad.
Good.
The
That's a
A
good
cover.
price. Yeah.
Actually, is this the B cover? The A cover had Porter Angle on it. This is the
No,
B
the
cover.
other way around.
This is the A. Can you read right there? Right there.
No,
Cover
I
A.
can't read right there.
Cover A.
All right, whatever, man. At least it's a book that wasn't a complete disaster. Raw's going for $11. High used to be $55.
I mean,
this wasn't a terrible book. It wasn't a terrible book. I still have 10 variants in here, though. I still made it out to 10 variants. So, speaking of that, because I used that, I did this one, which is the online version of it. This went ridiculous for a while, nuclear. I tried to average out what the high was. At one point, the 9/8 high was going for $310. Low was 76, and there was like a 464 sale there, but it didn't look good. Took me a lot to like dig through this, but lows of this book was $76. This book has crept steadily back up to 110 and a 9.8.
Well, IDW crashed the market for this one themselves too.
I agree with that. Highs of this for Raw were $67. There was a wild sale for like $225, but it got a relist, so I don't know. And plus it was so long ago, it looked like it was a relist, so I did kind of guess on that, but I threw that one out. $67. Raw averaging right now still $20, which isn't bad. There was some weird sale where a guy said he sold a Raw version of this poly bag for $235. Once again,
What?
it didn't. Yeah, well, it's that far out. So if you guys are like, well, what about that one that just sold for $200 or whatever? I throw that out if it looks weird. So threw it out. Next up, we gotta do one Wayseeker loves. Wayseeker, for those people that don't know, Wayseeker used to be in our chat forever, and finally, like, dude, this book sucks. Stop talking about this book. You can come on here and talk.
The Bake Off.
Yay! High Republic Adventure Galaxy Bake Off,
the greatest book of all time. That's
9.8
price.
It's actually this. I'll tell you this. This is the one thing I'll give them. The price sucked back then. It still sucks now, but it hasn't dropped off much.
$8 is pretty good for Raw.
The high back then was but this is a $7 book, wasn't it?
It's about cover price.
$6. Yeah, it's cover price. It was $7.60 as a high, $40 as a low. I'm giving a generous $8 on here, so Wayseeker doesn't cry because
I thought the Gardener was going to be important. I was wrong.
Three books sold for like. What was it? 3 books sold for $2 or $4.
Guy that's in a nursing home, basically.
$2.10. So, and then 1 book sold for $8. So
I own it. I own it.
$55 average, which is right between the low and the high. There's not a ton. I'll be honest with you. There's only like 6 9/8 of this that's graded and sold. So
this book.
We've got 3 of the prices right there. We got the high $76.
But don't forget, this book also comes with a recipe. So if you want to actually cook, you can get this comic book and use the recipe.
What's weird is you can never find the B cover graded. People gave so little fucks about this book that they wouldn't even grade the B cover. All right, next up, Star Wars Insider 199. Like I said, that wasn't a bad one. These last couple haven't been terrible. 9.8 still. Last 9.8 was 145. High of 195. Raws going for $60 or $12. I gotta tell you, in both cases, the books look fucked up. The $12 book,
they're awful.
The $12 book, like it was surfing, dude. There's waves and shit all in it. It looked like it had been rolled up. It was bad shape. The high average of this book, Raw, was $100. So when you look at it, I mean, you figured it would have. I figured this shit would have fallen off a lot more than this.
Well, when they send these to you, because this was a subscriber's cover, it's just.
Well, listen, you got John Bertha on the cover.
That's all there is freaking a poly bag protecting it. So they're usually sent to you. By the time you get them, they're already screwed up.
Was
this is poly bag? This one?
No, this one was at the stands. You could find this at the stands.
No, this was subscriber.
The poly bag one I thought was the Ahsoka and Anakin.
No, they're all poly.
Because
every single one comes to you in a poly bag.
But JJ, not for this. It was Ahsoka. This one was the B cover for the newsstand because I got 4 of them, and I'm not a subscriber.
This is a subscriber.
I got to copy this too. I don't do it with poly bag unless it came mailing.
I got like 4 of
for
these.
the Ahsoka and Annie.
Yeah, the Ahsoka Annie one. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, the polybag one is subscriber. All right, anyways. And then I added one more here. This has got us to 10 variants because I know there's a couple regular covers in there. Technically a variant of High Republic Adventures #1. It's the Geos one from Disney.
I got this one. How much money am I underweight on this one?
No, you're not.
Okay.
Raw's averaging, and by the way, it's a weird average because there's only like 2 books that sold on it. 110. Highs of 150, so you're not that far off, right? You had a book that sold around the 150 mark, and then you just had one that was kind of fucked.
I would ask though, what do you value the lightsaber at?
Yeah,
it was like $400 for both.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. And there's only been 2 9/8 sales.
I got a whole story about that lightsaber. Like I tried it a year later because I was going to do a costume with it, and it didn't even work. And I contacted Disney, and they said, "Yeah, most of them never worked, and we're not doing anything to fix it."
Oh!
In other words, get out my face.
They're like, it was just a prop, and we didn't actually think it was supposed to work. I'm like,
I hope you guys
it's supposed to work.
you sold
It
it.
doesn't even work.
I hope you
Didn't
sold
work.
this.
Didn't
You
work.
didn't sell none of it.
I paid all that money for a broken lightsaber that didn't even work.
Well, here's the deal. Do not send this book to auction because somebody first sent it to auction went for 152. Then somebody put buy it now 250 and it sold for 250. So if you get a 9.8 on it, you can sell it for 250. You could at least get $200 out of it. You get $200 back because the book's inside shit. So there you go. But there you go. There's some decent ones there. If you look at it, the back third wasn't as bad as the front 2/3. The front 2/3 was, and one of those books, mind you, was just like it's at the same price as that it sold when it first came out, which is the Bake Off. Thank you, Wayseeker, for choosing a shit all book.
Sure.
The Gardener's gonna be the most important
You could have done
character
the
in
1
all
in 10.
time.
You could have found the variant, the 1 in 10. After
Well,
I
no,
did
you
sell.
didn't do
No.
the variant for the Bake Off.
I have like
did-
four.
did you
I have
guys-
like 4 of the
Did you
1 in
guys
10.
hear what I said? Nobody's
Are there-
graded one.
Are there any listed for the 1 in 10 raw?
No, I don't know, but they
I
weren't
mean, I got like
selling
4
it.
of them.
They weren't grading it. I can't do it if they don't grade it. That's part of the segment. You have to show the 9.8 price. If nobody sold one,
So I should get mine
You
graded.
always put not
and see what they
available.
sell for.
that's a great slide and a great segment. Prices not available. Not available.
Well, you
Not
get the raw
available.
prices.
Yeah, but like they hadn't sold a raw book in 6 months. I didn't go any further back after that. When I saw no books, no 9.8s, and none of that cover selling in 6 months, JJ, you know how hard it is? I spent hours going back to get some of that data. Because anytime you have to go more than a year, it's really tough to get that data.
Yeah, somebody's got one listed right now.
For how much?
$145.
Yeah, it's
9.8
Wayseeker.
and a 9.8.
It's
I don't
probably
have mine
Wayseeker.
listed. I should. I got 4 of them over here.
Yeah. Hey,
The only
look,
one
man.
listed that I see.
I'm just gonna say
Please give us another 10 books you guys want to look at because I can't do that High Republic.
that news this week is actually worse than the book. So
Hey, listen,
buckle up.
and you didn't put something that was important in the news,
Buckle
but that's
up.
okay.
It is
Oh,
bad. Let's get the
you guys are talking about the news before we do it from now on again. Is that what you guys
What?
are doing before I got here? Okay, go ahead. Go.
No, we gotta get the JJ's thingamabobber.
Oh, the intro.
It's technically
I
Wayseeker's
got
news,
an
but
up- I
we'll
got an
never
update
give him
to throw
credit.
in.
No, I
I
don't
got
get
an
credit.
update
I'm
to
fine
throw
with
in
that.
real
It
quick.
was
Wayseeker doesn't deserve
it
credit.
was such a bad week for Star Wars news that I don't want credit for. I want to give JJ
Oh, hey, wait! You
Throw it.
went to a con.
all the
hold on.
blame for this week of Star Wars.
You went to a con and talked to creators of 2 of the best characters of all time, fan favorite characters. Yet you came back with no news.
I got some
Wayseeker.
news. I got some
Wayseeker.
news.
No
We'll get there.
news.
We'll get there.
I got-
All right.
I got an update to do real quick before you start the news.
Yeah.
The 1 in 10 number 1
Yeah.
just sold in a 9.8. 7 bids, $9.19.
Jeez.
For which one?
The 1 in 10, the one with Lorna D, quote unquote, on the cover.
9 8.
Oh, really?
$10.
$9 and what? Jesus.
19 cents. And a 9.8.
Well, obviously I do it before the last minute, so there we go.
All right. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one. So they
Go.
did Entertainment Weekly did a best sci-fi series of all time ranking, and they put Mandalorian 22nd, ahead of Stranger Things, which came in at 23rd, and just behind Futurama, that came at 21st. Does that seem a little high to you?
I don't know.
Not in that
how many?
grouping. Not in that grouping. You'd have to give us 5 in front and 5 behind.
Are we talking like, and is this like all time or like
This is all time. All time.
22 in sci-fi. All 3 of those in sci-fi at 21, 22, and 23 seem a wee bit high. Who is this from?
Entertainment
Yeah,
Weekly.
well, Stranger Things has double the amount of seasons of Mandalorian, and
It does.
Futurama has triple at least the amount of seasons.
All right,
Yeah,
so
but
I'll go through 20. I'll start at 26. Okay. 26 is the Jetsons.
Okay, it's better than that. Yeah, even though I love the Jetsons.
25 is the original Lost in Space.
I don't like that, but that's kind of low. I think you got to give it to like, yeah, I don't know.
20
Okay, go.
24 is like the show that never died, but I never watched it. Supernatural. It was like 15 years or whatever.
Oh, this is bullshit. It's not better than Supernatural.
Mandalorian's not as good as Supernatural.
No, fuck no.
Quickly changed the there, didn't he?
No, it's not though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, this grouping's right. Nope, not anymore.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. That's why I said it looked like the grouping was right. You gotta give it some more. No, Supernatural was way better than this. As a sci-fi movie.
23 is Stranger Things. 22 is Mando. 21 is Futurama. 20 is Expanse.
What's up, Ed?
Expanse.
Is good.
Get out of here.
19 is Sliders.
No.
No, what?
I'm giving it.
This all seems too high. This seems all a little bit too high.
18 is The Prisoner, which I don't even know what that is from the
Okay.
60s.
Well, the Prisoner is great.
Older.
As
I
an old
get that.
60s prisoner, that's a
that
great
was
show.
kind of- yeah.
17 is Outer Limits.
It's
Another good
better
show.
than Mark and Mindy.
I can give you out of limits.
And
Yeah.
16 is Aeon Flux. So that gives you like a 10, 5
Aeon
before, 5
Flux?
behind.
You know, Flux, it
Like
was
the
a
cartoon?
animated
I know what
cartoon.
Aeon Flux is. I don't know if Aeon Flux should have been that high though.
It shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
Netflix had like no story. It was
Yeah. The fucking fly in the fucking eyelid
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah. So that's where it is. I don't know. I still think it's pretty high.
what type
know-
of loser? First off, they need to give us who ranked this. And I'm talking
Doctor Who
pictures.
54.
Oh, sorry.
Give us a couple more up on top of that. Give us
100.
after Aeon Flux. Give us 3 more after on Flux. Up.
Marco wants
Okay.
you to keep going.
All right. 3 more after that. 15 is Westworld. I never loved Westworld personally.
Both
Yeah,
versions or
it's
just
pretty good.
one?
This is the
Are we talking all encompassing like the book-
HBO
like the books and
HBO version.
It was
Yeah, I think
okay,
it's
but
the
like,
latest
are we talking
HBO.
about the whole shit, or are we just
We're
talking
talking
about the
about-
2 show?
We're talking about HBO's version. So that one.
seems fucking high.
14 I also think is weird. This is person of interest. I didn't think that show was actually that good, but whatever.
Really? That's really
I don't know how
high.
much sci-fi that is. I mean,
It
it's got
had
computers.
it had Jesus.
Oh, fuck this.
It had Jesus in it, so I guess that.
Just let me get done. Get to number 10 and do 10 to 1.
All
I'm
right.
about to cut this
13.
stuff.
13 is Severin.
Don't even give me 13th. I want 10 to 1
Oh, 10 to 1.
because this is
All
already
right,
bullshit.
10 is Quantum Leap. 9 is
That's
That's
Lost.
a little low.
Number was great.
That's
Yeah,
a little
it was
high,
good.
maybe, but I can
8
live with
8 is Firefly, which seems way too high, but whatever.
It seems low.
That's low, man.
Firefly for one season.
Firefly's awesome, man.
It's
And the
one
movie?
season.
that. Well, Firefly is 13 episodes in one movie. He's right.
You
It's-
Yeah,
can't make a top 10 off of that. You just can't.
Yes, you can.
7 is X Files. Like you can't put X Files.
Okay, X Files. Okay, that's too low for X Files. Come
Yeah,
on.
Yeah,
it's
it's too low for
supposed
X
to
Files.
be
I don't even
X-Files.
like X Files, but I'll nod out to X Files. And that's way too low.
6 Star Trek: The Next Generation. 5
No.
Mystery Science
God.
Theater 3000.
Hmm.
4
What? That's a comedy, though. That's not
4
really.
Star Trek.
Hold on. No, hold the
The
fucking
original Star
on.
Trek?
Wait,
3
hold on.
Wait,
Mystery
wait,
Science
wait, wait,
Theater.
wait.
I'm giving you a list when I'm talking. I'm doing what you told me to do. Give
Yeah,
me
but
the
you
list.
got to pause. So what happens
No, I
is
don't.
you
I'm
give
telling
me
you the list.
words.
You can talk.
You say
3
how a
Doctor
panel.
Who.
Wayseeker,
2
how a
Battlestar
panel
Galactica,
works.
and
I
1
can't even hear
Twilight
what the
Zone.
top 3 are.
Now
No,
talk.
I know. Well, we couldn't hear what it was.
That's your fault.
How
wonder why.
Mystery Science Theater works, though, is just because it's a science doesn't mean it's sci-fi. It was a comedy show.
Well, it's sci-fi.
When they made fun of other shows.
No, it was a comedy show on Comedy Central.
It was on, actually, it was on Sci-Fi.
It was
It's
on
better than
Oh,
Mando.
was
It's
that
better than
safe?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, Doctor Who came in at 3.
What were the top 3 though? I couldn't actually hear what he said.
I couldn't either.
All right. Doctor Who was 3. Battlestar Galactica was 2, and Twilight Zone was 1.
Yeah.
Hey,
I love
Twilight
Battlestar
Zone-
Galactica.
listen,
but
Twilight
that's
Zone
not number 2.
Revolutionized things, man. Twilight Zone was the shit, man.
It was TV shows too, so we're not gonna get like Dune or okay,
Yeah.
I think TV series. I think.
It's
Serious.
got
yeah.
TV shows, yeah.
okay.
22 still seems high to me.
I think
Yeah,
I
like,
think
you give it-
Supernatural is pretty freaking low on that list. Didn't that thing go like 60 seasons? I think it was like
15 seasons.
15 seasons.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like Firefly had 13 episodes. How do you compare that to something that has 15?
Firefly
Because it was that good. Because it was
It
that
wasn't
good.
that good. It was
Yes.
fine. It wasn't that good.
Where's Sandman? Yeah, where who
That's 26
who ranked?
years.
Go down to the bottom. Go to the bottom. Let's see who this show is. Put the link up so I can tear this show apart.
The internet.
This is like some 12-year-old kid writing this thing. It's
can hear this.
Wayseeker.
Wow,
Wayseeker wrote
kid.
this list. I don't want to hear another list from fucking. So this is
Dan
irrelevant.
Gallagher. Declan Gallagher. Whoever Declan Gallagher is.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds
You
like
wanna,
somebody named.
you want to hate?
Sounds
You
like
want
a
nobody
pen
to ever
name
like
for
the show?
It sounds exactly like
Everybody
somebody.
thinks this is the worst
Declan
show ever.
Gallagher.
Can you give somebody props for once?
Well, first off, he must be a Trekkie because the Star Trek's top 5 of his top 4 hits, man. What was his name? What?
Declan.
Well, listen, but the whole fact is that Star Trek: The Next Generation was actually a good show, man.
Dom, you're gonna get kicked off the show.
No, I'm just saying, but
Declan what?
Declan Gallagher.
That's a fake name. No, hey, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm yeah, that's the name of a Scottish like association or football player. That's not a real person. All right. Hey, Dom could say that. I could even allow a pass of having that in the top 10. I could do that. But not with the rest of that bullshit.
But let me ask you a question. Does it go with the amount of episodes? Because Mando only has what?
No,
8,
because we have
16?
Firefly in the top 10, so it does go by the amount of episodes.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, that I don't even think that's a real article, dude.
It is a real article.
No.
But you know what? Twilight Zone is
Okay.
a legitimate number 1 contender.
Oh shit! I see this guy now. Yeah, he took his name after a Scottish soccer player, and yeah, it makes sense. This guy looks about 15, can't grow a beard yet.
How's
Yeah.
there no like Babylon 5? I mean,
No Babylon 5, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
so much missing from that.
Lost was 9.
He
Battlestar
prior
Galactica.
to writing for Men's Journal, he wrote for Entertainment Weekly, People, and
Nobody watched Lost after the first.
Evergreen Content.
I watched it all.
I watched it all. I
watched it all.
regret watching
You regret
it all.
watching
but
it
I
all,
watched
probably,
it
right?
Maybe, hey, if you're gonna write sci-fi food, maybe your thing should be like, when not writing, it shouldn't be like you can find me in nature and eating food, or just
Andor
talking
should be
about
on
food.
there.
You should be like, I like sci-fi. So I'm probably not like, when your thing is like, all I do is like to eat and walk outside, or talk about eating or walking outside, then I don't know if I can buy your list.
Where's Andor?
Right.
Andor should have been on that damn list.
Right?
It's not in the top 25.
Not in Declan Gallagher's top 25. He's too busy walking and talking about food to be watching that type.
all right, this will make Dom, I think, pretty happy.
Why do you find this dog shit? Go ahead.
It's a weak week. I told you that. It's
Yeah.
JJ.
What about Lost?
Did it.
What about Lost?
Lost was 9. I had it on
You
your
just
list.
said Lost was number 9.
Under the
I-
bubble? Under
Yeah.
Under the
Uh,
dome. The dome.
Mike
Good
McNovitz, he's one of the lead writers for Star Wars 13. He also is one of the writers for Tales from the Underworld. He is the main writer for the Maul series. So there you go.
the okay.
You get you'll get some of your Star Wars 1313 brought into
Story-wise,
Into
well, it
this.
is about the underworld. It is about the scum and villainy. So it'd be pretty cool to get
Scum and Villainy is like the universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've done Scum and
I look
Scum and
forward to
Villainy was
going
the
back to
cantina.
another desert planet like Tatooine again.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put this in news, but since I did population before, I'll give you a guess. How many people live? They came out with the official number. How many people live on the planet of Tatooine? What do you think?
Isn't it like
22,625 million.
No, it's like 80 billion or trillion or something like that.
On the whole planet of Tatooine,
Yeah,
Is
it's like
Rank
billions.
cars and that rank
200,000.
cars? That's it.
200,000. That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's all the amount of people that live on the whole planet.
No way.
That's
Who
what
said
Star
that?
Wars came out.
So it's basically like Wyoming.
Yeah. So
And they're all double the age that they are because Tatooine makes them older.
Why do you need 3,000 layers then?
Well, the real
Who
question
knows?
is why
Yeah.
does
Why
like
would
one
you
of the
live
biggest
there?
cartels in the galaxy or whatever have
We're gonna do this planet where nobody lives.
Dude, it looks like they got 100,000 people just working for the Senate. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You know what makes me laugh? They talk about go back to the
No,
other
go
movie.
back. I'm talking about this. Why would
No,
you
the ball.
flick the thing?
They all
Wayseeker,
talk
how
about
bad are you at this? Go ahead, Tom.
they talk about the Maul series about where it takes place and all this stuff like that. They say it takes place after Clone Wars season 7. But they never mentioned that it takes place after Clone Wars season 7, but after Revenge of the Sith, because season 7 intertwined with Revenge of the Sith, Order 66. They never mentioned that Maul is on the Empire's hit list. So they never talk about that Maul is in a strange place, this and that. So that's the
No,
thing.
we already know he's on the hit list. No, hold on.
I tried to spare Dom of that comment.
Wait, Dom, he was already on the hit list before.
I know, but all the interviews where they're talking, they never mention that. And it's like,
Well, why would they? Because
I
he was
tried.
already 10 years before on their hit list.
No, I know that's what I know, but the whole fact is that Order 66.
I try to help
they
you.
Going after him. So
I swear to God, I try every week. I try to.
I
help
don't know
you
why
out.
you double back all the time.
So much.
Listen, I know
So
what you
much I
mean.
try to-
It's just- I'm just saying, but the whole fact is that he lived through Order 66. So the whole thing is that at the year after Order 66, Revenge of the Sith. Say that in the story when you're saying it's part
Are
of
you
the
moving
story.
forward yet?
What?
Yeah.
Do you want me to move forward yet? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, we got some details on Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy
Between the end
Season
of Clone
2,
Wars and the beginning of Rebels.
Pieces of the Past. This one is also going to be 4 episodes. Just
I
like
love
the
these
other one.
things. I love everything Legos, bro. And
All
I
of
saw
them?
one of the sets. I'm actually almost considering maybe paying full price for Legos if I wasn't so cheap and I can get a
You
really
won't
good
do it.
discount.
Yes.
No,
We
no,
get
because
new
I'll get it
villain-
for free.
We get a new villain. We get Salatis, or however you pronounce it. I don't know. We also will be featuring Brickhead's
Solitis.
Ahsoka.
Darth Solitis.
Solitis.
Not only that, but he's Master Darth Solitis. He's like he is the Master Darth.
the Master Darth.
Yeah,
But
and Darth and Jedi Bob's got to fight him.
Ashley's coming back to voice Brickhead's Ahsoka. We got Jackson making his first appearance in this one. So this looks
Are we
good.
gonna get Darth Jar Jar back?
We got Darth Jar Jar back. We didn't hear anything about Nubs. Nubs probably won't make it this time.
I think we should kill him.
But we did get this news. This is one that Dom was super excited about.
We should be playing
Sig.
Guess the Price this week. Yes, it should be. Did
Yeah.
we get the JJ? Did we get it up?
Yeah,
We did.
it's
It's down there. Yep.
Perfect. All right, perfect.
Sig, the main character from Rebuild the Galaxy, will have an orange lightsaber. So, Dom, why are you excited about that?
It's the first time an orange lightsaber showing up in Lego.
In a Lego.
You don't sound too excited, Dom.
Because I'm not excited. Because he puts
You asked me to put this in news for you. I did it.
I put it in news, but you don't put that Keith Connolly passed away. Freaking guy, Admiral Print. Come on, man, give me a break. You
It's
put
Star
that,
Wars. Somebody dies.
Thanks, Chef, for that update. But yeah, wait, what? Dom, you're
Not
the
gonna
toy.
put somebody
Hold on,
dies.
stop. What the shit are we doing here, guys? I don't come off the lake for this. Dom, you're the toy guy. You should be excited about the orange lightsaber first time in a fucking
Lego.
toy.
I know the toy.
Wayseeker, did you prep him for this before?
He asked me to put it on news. I didn't need to
Put it
prep
in the
him.
chat.
He
No,
said,
because when I read it, I said, this is pretty good.
Wayseeker, can you put this in news? So I don't think I need to prep him when he says that. That's him prepping himself.
I quit.
Well,
Ruben's
freaking goddamn
excited.
Ruben, you're excited with
Yeah,
everything.
Ruben.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Right? Is that too
Yeah,
much
no,
to ask?
so it's actually the first Star Wars character with an orange lightsaber in Lego, which is pretty cool. If you collect the figures, you have the orange lightsaber.
Is it so? Is he in that set that comes out with the Darth Solus? There's that set that's got Darth Solus in it. It's got Jedi Bob. It's got
Yeah, I think so.
somebody else. So he's probably one of those, and it's got some other Darth in it. Yeah, cool. All right, well that's cool then.
Yeah. So
Has there been no Lego Ahsoka things yet?
There has, but she. Why would she have an orange
Right.
lightsaber?
Well, Balin and
Balin.
He had the orange lightsaber.
Oh, from the show.
Sure.
yeah.
I
But
don't know
the
if they
Lego-
did-
I don't think they did a Balin figure. And
They
it,
didn't do it.
that
And they
time-
didn't have orange. I think they had, if they did it, it wasn't orange.
What color
It
would
was
you call
orange.
it?
They have orange
I know,
lightsabers.
but in the TV show it might have been, but not what they made for the Lego character set.
Let me
Oh.
see.
I agree with you on that.
What? Yeah.
That they had orange there in the TV show, but it wasn't the Lego. All right, Darth Edwards, our favorite person who said that Rogue One isn't the best Disney Star Wars movie, that the one he wrote, he confirmed this week that the Rancor is basically the same monster from Jurassic World.
Yeah,
Rebirth.
that's what it's inspired from that, because
The
the
DRex.
gentleman that created the Rancor also created the friggin'
So
the experimental Tyrannosaurus Rex. So that's why this was already in the news a long time ago. That it was already confirmed that it was inspired off of the Rancor.
no, it's in our news for the first time. So
We're here for the first time, but I read about this a long time ago.
Tom, you're really helping out the show today.
No, because the fact is that when I put news in there, you don't put it in there. When you don't put the news, you just put random shit in there.
You just said that you put that last thing in there. He set you up, and
You know what? Listen, I can't remember what I ate
from an
for
interview
breakfast
this
yesterday.
week.
I'm gonna remember putting a thing in the news the week before. Come on,
Anyway,
no, man.
we got Star Wars Rancor in Jurassic World Rebirth, and it's also called DRex, which is probably the worst name you could ever come up with. So, like,
Yeah, that's stupid. Who
I don't
the
think
hell
this
would
guy
care?
knows
I would
anything about
not brag about that because you have to say D-Rex.
yeah.
It sounds like douchebag Rex, and you're a
Deformed
douchebag
Rex.
for doing this.
A deformed Rex or a figure.
Hey, I'm so lazy that I just took a
Dildo
radio
Rex.
in Jurassic Park.
It's a
sounds
dinosaur
stupid.
Rex. I don't know what's going on
Dildo.
with that guy, but whatever. All right, we got a new plush available at Galaxy's Edge. We got Bantha. So you plush collectors for Star Wars, you can pick up Bantha. What do you think? Does that look good to you?
That looks like you, Wayseeker.
What do you think, Marco? You gonna pick this up?
Yo, it looks like Chaka from Land of the Lost,
What?
the freaking Captain
What?
Caveman.
No,
know.
Wayseeker, that's not even a good. Like, what are you doing?
This is
what?
pretty. This is a pretty
Listen.
ugly plush.
Ruben
This
will
is-
pick this up. Ruben will pick this up. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and we also got something new at Galaxy's Edge. This one's for Dom. We got a Boba Fett pen, brand new Boba Fett pen. It's available now
Boba
at
Tea.
Oh, it's
Galaxy's
Boba
Edge.
Tea, I get it.
Boba Tea. Yes.
So, Dom, you're gonna have to pay big bucks for that one on secondary market unless you go there yourself.
Actually, I have a friend of mine that actually collects all Disney pins. All I do is reach out to him. He has an extra one.
There you go. Reach out because these things don't sell for a long time. So
Darth
Disney-
Rev.
It's funny, the pins actually do sell out, which is crazy.
they do. They do. So-
Pins are
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
Dude, that
So-
Lego set looks cool with the one that we talked about with the orange lightsaber. There's 3 figs to it. I wish somebody who had toys would do it. And they had the 2 Darths. The Darth's got some sweet silver lightsabers too, which is kind of dope.
Jeez.
All right.
These are
Next
critical
up,
of
this
those.
one's for
$4.
Wallace and Gromit fans out there. If you live in Bristol, England, you might want to go see this Wallace and Gromit display with Feathers McGraw as Darth
Mhm.
Vader. This is pretty cool here. You don't get to see this very often. Marco loves this one too, but I love Wallace and Gromit.
I do love Wallace and Gromit.
So
I don't have any problem with Wallace and Gromit. I think this is great.
Wallace and
I just
Gromit-
don't think you should give the tea and biscuit eaters this because they don't deserve anything nice.
That's all Wallace and Gromit's from England.
It doesn't matter. We made it fun. If we didn't watch it, nobody'd watch it.
You just hate everybody. Anyway, I think this is pretty cool. If you live in Bristol or near Bristol, go check out Wallace and Gromit and Darth Vader. That's a cool one.
Hey,
All right, we got-
Wayseeker, by chance did you put up the Star Wars Lego, the Lego thing coming out, the Django Fett
No, I wasn't going to put toys in news.
That
because
had,
I
that
yelled
had-
We don't
at.
put toys
Little
in news for a reason.
little Boba Fett, big Jango Fett, and then it also had what's her name? The
I leave
Lama
toys
Sue?
to the person that does toys.
Lama Sue, you didn't do that one either. No, that's not coming on. Okay, just
Hold on. Listen,
Just-
as the show goes on, I'll do this.
No. Go ahead. What's next, Wayseeker?
All right, we got a chronological reading order in case you want to venture through the High Republic again and start with Phase 2 that was released this week. So maybe
you
this
could
is
do
how they
that, or
think
you
you
could
should read it.
really punch yourself in the nuts, and then
start with
My
Phase
advice
2.
is don't.
yeah.
Then you can go to Phase 1. Then you go to Phase 3. They released it all. It's
You know
like
what, that might actually be better.
it might actually.
Because
be better.
no, you'd be so turned off by Phase 2 that you
Phase
would
2
never
wasn't that
Well,
get to
bad.
Phase 1.
Phase 2 wouldn't have been so bad if it was Phase 1, though, right?
I
Like, if
really
that
agree
was
with
what
No,
started.
I think you need to
Mother
go
was
back and read it.
good.
It would
The
have.
Everini stuff was good.
My,
was some
my
good-
biggest problem with Phase 2 was that it was some bizarre interlude.
I think
After
JJ's right
Phase
about
1,
that, especially
it
as it
didn't
went
really
on.
involve
It
it at
didn't
all.
connect it at all.
Yeah.
But
Here's part of the problem: the good boost in Phase 2, they like didn't do anything with like the Nas. Like they had the thing where they were going to do the whole Nas experiment thing. It didn't really work
Yeah,
out
that
that
was
well.
Phase
problem.
3.
It didn't
That was
connect
Phase
to
3. That was
No, that was Phase 2 where they introduced it. They didn't do anything, and then Phase 3 they're like,
and stuff from Phase 3.
yeah, the bullet, and then they're like, oh, here's one thing out of him, and by the way, irrelevant.
He was a kid. He was a 3-year-old in the Phase 2 when she got in and got saved. There was no
Phase 2
introducing
sucked.
of that
So was
theme. He
Phase
was
3.
3.
Phase 3 blue too.
So
All
anyway,
blue.
if you want to read them again, you shouldn't
Nope.
want to read them again. We'll get into that later, but it came out this week. We also got the next up book. This one is one
Jesus.
JJ really was excited for. I'm going to make Marco read it because the audiobook, if you were an audiobook listener, you're out of luck. If they brought it up this week, it is delayed for 3 months. So
Why would I read this?
because
why?
you're the only one that's going to read it. So somebody's got to review
I
it.
actually like these two characters, kind of, to be honest.
JJ does like these characters, but
But
I don't think they were the worst characters. I just don't understand why we're. I don't understand why we're covering characters that were only 12 years old and died instantaneously in a TV
that's
show.
the problem, is that they wasted the characters.
Yeah, they wasted the characters, much like Charles Soule wasted all the characters of the High Republic.
Anyway, this one's the next up. Comes out in 3 weeks. We'll review it. I'll make Marco read it. JJ won't read it because it's not an audiobook.
What's with the cover? Why does that guy's face look so fucked?
It's so weird. It looks really weird.
The actual
They don't do themselves any
It's
favor.
boring.
Like Jackie doesn't even look that good to me.
You know what's crazy too is the cover artists that get to do the foreign, and they're printed by the foreign publishers.
Yeah.
So much better than
So
a lot of
much.
the Del Rey covers. I don't know why. They are.
Yeah, I agree. It is unfortunate. All right, and last thing in news. We got this week, we got 2 Star Wars publishing panels were announced for SDCC. I did this before I went today, and I asked, are we finally getting another Thrawn novel? Are we going to get a glimpse of the next initiative? I can answer the first question definitively.
No.
The answer is no. We're not finally getting another Thrawn novel. I asked Zahn today about, when are we going to get more Thrawn? And he said, not until Filoni's done telling the story. So,
Fuck, did you tell him?
I
Did you
could
tell
tell
him
that.
you're gonna phone?
Ask him the question.
so it doesn't matter. He ain't getting it. It ain't happening.
Did you ask him? Is there anything he needs us to do to help do that?
I
I
said, I said everybody's wanting. He's like, I know. Del Rey wants it. People want it, but it doesn't matter until
Everybody wants
until the character is released. It ain't coming.
I don't
That
see
sucks, man.
why can't Filoni and people can walk and chew gum at the same time. Like him writing another Thrawn novel is not going to detract from your Ahsoka season 2. That half the
Nobody
people,
cares about
actually
it.
probably more than half, the vast majority of the people aren't going to read that book.
Yeah, don't care about. They really don't. And I'm not saying that in a negative term, but they really don't. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I agree.
Is he getting more ornery? Is he getting more ornery than he used to? Because I think this is kind of ticking him off. Like
I don't know.
Years ago,
I didn't get that sense.
2 years ago, I
think
talked to him a little bit about
He's still
Dave.
doing other work too. It's not like
He was trying to be, But he said
that.
that's what he said. He's like, I got some other stuff in the work, but you could tell it was like in the back of his mind where he's like,
I think he does.
I'd rather
really
just
like
finish it.
writing the character though. He probably does want to get back to it.
Yeah, I think he just wants to finish off the Thrawn thing and call it a day. Then, so I can only imagine where he's at this point, where it's been like, just a cluster shit.
He's not old, but he's not young either. So
Yeah, but he also has a history in Star Wars of eventually only taking so much and then going.
I don't know.
"Fuck you."
I don't think he's there anymore. I don't think he cares. Like my sense was he hasn't kept up on Star Wars lately.
Oh, that's sad. Well, no, I don't know, dude. He still seems kind of petty to me, and I'm willing to bet that he has the last book written, and there's some shots at
In his
Dave
defense,
in there.
why would you keep up on? I mean, if they're
Yeah.
not going to let you write the book series that you're known to write for and you want to write, why would you keep up on Star
Yeah, I know
Wars?
he's everywhere, but like, it sucks.
It does.
It's because he
It does.
doesn't
Suck.
have to write Star Wars books anymore.
I know. So that leads me to the other question: are we going to get a glimpse? Or you think are they ready to do an initiative? Are they like High Republic was so bad that they're going to wait 10 years before they do anything else? Like,
Oh no, they're going forward with another form of High Republic.
are we going to get a whole new initiative? High Republic
Yes.
initiative.
That bullshit about the Luminaris group in the books is telling you that they are going forward with shit.
The Luminous.
So we know Soul and Grattan and a couple other people are going to be in the panel. So are they going to be it's all going to be the head again?
I
Yes,
hope not.
100%. I saw an interview with him, and yes.
Well, now to pump the brakes a little bit, I know we all assume
Well,
that
a few things are coming to it too
he is
late.
still working on Star Wars publications, despite. I mean, so I don't know that he's.
yeah, but he's also isn't he
doing
working on
whatever
Daredevil
this
now
is.
too or something?
He's got
He's
lots
got,
of
he's got something in the Marvel thing.
Well, he's got
He's done
non-Star
Daredevil,
Wars
yeah.
stuff going on,
Yep.
yeah. But he's also still doing comics, so he's still publishing Star Wars works. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing. I don't know. I have a feeling that we're going to get some one-offs. I don't think we're going to get a new initiative for a long time.
Can I ask you a question? A serious question? If you had the option of not having him work on any more Star Wars projects for 5 years, but you don't get to know who's going to work on the project, so it would be all new people, would you take that option?
Yes.
No.
I wouldn't. Yes. I would in a heartbeat. 100% heartbeat.
The new writers that we've gotten that they've tried to introduce, they've all been bad.
But what do you have to lose in that deal? A writer that's kind of anyways, hey,
listen, you got old. Hey, you had Older who was new, and besides him getting into the political stuff, which took him away from, and him having to extend a story that he should never had to.
It's been new. He has.
Yeah, George Mann's been.
No, he can't get Man. I'd be wanting to keep a couple people on.
No, what I'm saying is you don't get Soul. Soul cannot touch Star Wars for 5 years, but you don't get to pick who goes on. So you could get, maybe you do get Man, but you also might get somebody else that's new. I'd rather go that route at this point. He doesn't get to do the main title. Huh?
Marco, Chef just said no toy news, but I just sent you something, a couple of slides, really quick.
Look at that. Tom coming through.
Okay.
I think
going to blame Dom.
What they should do, I'm more in agreement with Wayseeker in that I hope they don't have a new initiative, like big publishing initiative planned. I would much rather them see them, and I'd prefer probably new writers, but I'd much rather them see hire writers that are going to make stories that are just good. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
The other problem is not so much that the High Republic has kind of taken this sour turn. We can argue about that all day. But the fact is, the non-High Republic books lately have not been very good.
No, they've been worse. I really think they've been worse.
So, I just want stories that are going to be decent and make good novels. Like, I don't really care about some connected 5-year publishing initiative.
A quick question. Knowing that Moncharo, they really botched his character up, and he was really a good character. No, I was thinking, that Disney wants to take stories, their own stories, their own character creation, instead of a lot of the legend stuff that they do have that they can take, that they choose not to. They pick a little here, a little there. What would you think if they take Moncharo and do the story of Dark Crate with him?
Nope.
No.
That's not what I want. What I wanted them to do, I mean, what I really would have liked them to do was make a character that made a difference and had a decent story that made some type of logical sense. And what instead they did was they just pretty much said, he doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And that's the thing.
No, you didn't read the story, Dom. In this story, Charles Soule says he doesn't matter. Because to be honest with you, if Ro was there or not, the story ends the same way it started.
Yeah, that's actually in the book. Like, quite literally, Ellsworth Man tells him in their last encounter that he's not going to matter.
Yeah, I actually like that line.
I think it's terrible. I'm like, Marco's got a point in the fact that, like, for all that you read about, like, in the end, it's not going to make a difference in the world.
See, that's where I think it's a slap in the face to anybody who got vested in there, because the writer is telling you, because that wasn't the original ending. If you watch the interview, he did it 8 times over, and then he said, yeah, I thought this was the perfect ending for all the fans to let them know. And what he's telling you is High Republic didn't matter. If you're vested, it doesn't matter. Huh?
I think the biggest problem is there were too many cooks. You had 9 writers.
It wasn't, because he's bullshit. Bullshit, because
I'm telling you what I think the problem was.
I'm telling you, you're wrong, Wayseeker. I'm telling you, he out of the horse's ass's mouth.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying.
You don't have to understand. You have to listen. You have to zoop and listen. He said that's not true. So you can make shit up all you want.
Just because he said it's not true doesn't mean it's not true. I think the problem was you had 9 cooks.
You're kind of just like taking the egotistical Charles Soule's word for it now.
But I mean, I believe too, because everybody has said, they have backed this up before. They have said, yep, he was in charge of a bunch of stuff, and then
I understand that, but there are too many people writing too many stories, and they all had their favorite characters, and they didn't link up, and they didn't all communicate with one another as the thing went on.
But he was still supposed to be, guys.
Okay,
that's fine, but guys, he was the guy that was supposed to be leading the group. He was the talking mouth a lot of the times. He was the guy that
without blame.
Huh?
nobody. I don't think anybody's making the case that he's not without blame.
No, I agree with that. He's very
But
much to blame.
More like making the case that he wasn't the only problem.
And I don't think it can work. If they ever do a new initiative, I hope they only have 1 or 2 writers total.
I think if you had if you had him actually not in charge of it, if you did have somebody who was like the project manager over this, which they should have had, and you had people coming and going. The problem is he's Kanye West. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
That's how they all were. Everybody
no.
that character. I think write about Vernestra. He wanted to write about Blade.
Hold on. That's not true.
TV.
He even says he went to Older and asked, and Older's like, yeah, sure. He went to Gray and asked, and she's like, oh, of course, as long as it's good for the story. Man did the same thing, so that's not true.
But
that's not what everybody's right.
They used their characters, and they only told the story from their characters, and they didn't link up. There were just too many people telling too many stories with way too many characters. We said that about the High Republic. There were way too many characters. And
but he is the one that decided. He says it. He's the guy that decided they weren't going to kill anybody. That's what he said. Which is also stupid.
That is dumb. But they had too many people were too invested in their own characters.
Which is also, I agree. It's 100% stupid. You should be killing off characters. But he's the one that said that was his choice not to kill off characters because he had the final book and he only killed off 1. And he asked the guy for permission.
There are other authors that could have killed off characters too.
No, you had apparently under his guise, you had to ask for permissions to kill off people's characters.
They kill off more characters at the end of Phase 1 than the end of Phase 3. So
I agree.
Yeah, Phase 2, a lot of people died too. I mean,
Phase 2 was actually Phase 1. It was before Phase 1, which Phase 1 was actually the best thing. That's the problem. There was just didn't kill characters, and
I put this discussion there in the end of the book, but we can have it now.
Okay, we'll do it there. We'll do it later. We could do it later. We'll get to the book. But Dom's got a point. Like they should have. I mean, I'll tell you this: Ava, and Elzar should not have both lived. And it sucks, but I mean,
like, it kind of did, kind of didn't. I mean, we'll figure that one out. If they just live in exile in a planet that nobody can get to, like, they're kind of dead.
As the only humans on the planet,
they kind of died. It is a type of death where they can't even see each other or be next to each other because they're in two different realms.
They became Mortis gods.
Yeah, that's what they did. They became Mortis gods. No, but they should there should have been some. If you're gonna do the love story thing, at least kill one of them and make one of them.
That was a pretty brutal way of dealing with a love story.
Hold on. What they should do is have kill one of them and then banish the other one. That would have been a great fucking ending.
Have her turn to a Sith. She could have been bad.
No, kill one of them though. You got to kill them.
Why?
I don't think
like
and the other one goes to the dark side.
Practically the same thing.
And then they got to go live on the planet with what's his name. Okay, go ahead. Anyways, let's go. Move on. Next one.
What do we want?
Fixing up these slides.
Book. We got.
Oh, I'm trying to fix these toy slides real quickly. I'll try to load them in now. Hold on. Give me a sec. I didn't know news was done. Wow, that news really sucked.
Well, also, rest in peace, Kenneth Connolly, Admiral Pritt. He passed away just the other day. So
there you go. I have one more piece of news. Last minute, just trying to add this in because I know it didn't make it. That's how we do things, Dom. All right, perfect. Now go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, rest in peace, Kenneth Connolly, who played Admiral Pritt in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He passed away the other day, which is sad because
I thought he died like 20 years ago, but
no, he actually just died. The other day.
Died of pneumonia and COVID. Yeah. 3 days ago. But I didn't put it in news because in Star Wars world, somebody dies every day. I can't have rest in peace 20 times.
Yes, you can, Wayseeker. Yes, you can.
It's kind of amazing.
Thank you.
That were in movies.
Good job, Dom. Way to keep them honest. Just do it better next time, please. All right. Go ahead. What do we got here? Once again, thank you very much, Wookiee Fanatic. Dan, here's your seg.
I thought we were doing toys.
No, I still have to get the thing. I have to clean up too much shit.
All right. We don't know what we're doing. None of us have looked at these before. Funko Pop, vinyl, Star Wars Clone War Commander Cody, Walgreens exclusive. Dom, what is this thing worth?
It was going for about $75 to $100 at one time. I know it dropped down.
Dang.
It's got to be going between 20.
That guy's got boxes of this shit though. Look at how many boxes of this pop he has. Yeah, this is a Walgreens employee. Stole a bunch of this bullshit.
So basically, it was going for about, like I said, like $100 at one time. Now it's anywhere between 30.
So I'll go 40. I'll trust you. I'll say 40. What do we got? What do we got? Guesses.
Well, that's Spider-Woman.
Tough. I kind of want to go about right what you said. I want to go lower than what Dom said because apparently this dude has a whole bunch of them.
Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, hold on. So I just started reading them. The two at the bottom are Spider-Woman pops, and then there's a Kool-Aid pop.
Okay, Kool-Aid pop, yeah.
Either way.
But he's got a case. He's got a case. How many come in a case?
You got like
16?
6.
12?
No,
About
6.
I'm going to say, I'm going to go a little bit higher than Wayseeker and screw him over. I'm going to say 45.
45. We got Dan said 40 as well.
I'm gonna go
23.
I'm gonna go $42.35.
Okay.
I say about
right there. Yep.
$35.
35. All right. What we got here? We got
Well,
48. Thanks, JJ.
JJ won. Good. As long as Wayseeker doesn't get any right, I'm happy today.
1-0.
Appreciate you too.
No problem.
All right.
Make me
Chris
read that
Brown,
trash
custom Lego,
ass book.
Dead Band. This is
Custom. Shoot.
there's 20 of
Wait,
them.
what is
supposedly.
this?
It's a custom made.
Okay, how much
Yeah,
do they? How much does it? Hey, can I ask? Can I get? We can only ask one question out of Dom. Dom, what is the average Lego custom build cost? Average, not his one, just average.
Or just you mean just the custom?
Any
Any
custom Lego.
any-
What is it typically?
Any custom? It depends on like something like this.
Give us a number.
About maybe $100, $200.
A what now?
Around $100 to $200, depending on the character and depending on.
That's
the type
crazy.
of, it is
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Fuck
Also,
outta
I don't
here.
trust any of
No,
these
but
numbers.
dude,
I
if
don't
you
trust custom numbers ever.
No, because think about it. Original Lego pieces. There are pieces that are a lot of money.
I get that, but there's no piece of
Like,
plastic.
The bootleg guy that sells them at the con sells 4 for 20.
But
Five
see,
for-
something
One for 5,
Something like
5
this?
for 20.
like this is a little bit more. I'll say $90.
Yeah. This
$90.
looks very professional for a custom Lego.
Yeah, this isn't the bootleg guy.
About $90. I'll say about this.
I'm gonna go $65. We got sticks at 58.
I'm going 38. It's an auction.
Oh, it's auction. Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he tells
Auction.
auction. Oh, good. No, I'm moving 112. No, I'm still going 60,
I'll do $90.
$100.
100. I have 38. $845.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck
You're in
out
the
of
wrong
here.
business,
Get
Paul.
the fuck! Get the fuck out of
You see?
here!
Between
Get the
$140,
fuck out of here!
It's a lot of
Whoever
money.
that is, get the fuck out of here! This is a shill if I ever seen it. This is bullshit. Get the
No,
fuck out of
no.
here!
You have
Custom,
this,
baby.
but the thing that I think Dom is getting to also is there are fans of these that will buy it. So like the person
Yeah.
has bought this guy's custom Legos. This is probably not the first one he's made. Like I'm sure
There's
have a
no
line of them
way.
that he makes
There-
that are limited.
no.
No, like
Who?
I can get these at cons for $5. It doesn't look that cool, but I
Yeah.
paid $845
Who?
for it.
Who? Yeah, right. This is what I'm saying. That's him buying his
Or
own
Dan's
product.
right. It's somebody laundering money.
No,
That's not what we
actually,
get.
hey, I'm surprised. Surprised that friggin' Ruben didn't say I'll buy one himself. He's always buying.
No,
things.
even he knows. That's when you know. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Sorry, I said that like
No,
80
that-
times.
no, but
I'm
that's just
sorry
crazy.
for all the people that have their families watching this, but no,
Hey,
sometimes
hey,
you got to do it.
listen, I'm telling you, like the average between $100 and $200. This is crazy. It's like definitely a lot of money.
All right.
So wait, who won that one?
Nobody. Nobody
No,
goes
somebody
up.
did
Doesn't count.
123.
When you're off by
$90. I
when
said,
you're
No,
off by
123.
700
Oh,
bucks, you lose.
oh, how much? Okay.
Star Wars Ahsoka Clone Wars vintage collection figure.
This is
Damn,
the
I
original.
know
It went
this.
down in value
It's the
because they had a
vintage
release.
collection?
They re-released it, so it's not as
2012.
much as it used to be.
So I'm gonna go. Ooh,
I'll
I'm
do
still gonna
80
throw up the number. I'm gonna throw $85.
I
$80
think
bucks.
that's high, personally.
This is great.
Yeah, it's
did
what
he
it what
do?
kind of used to be.
So
So
this
I'm
used to
gonna
be a
I'll
$200,
go
$300
50.
figure.
50.
$85. 85.
Sticks is going 237.
I'll say
Ruben's got 45.
85 to $90. $90. I'll do $90.
$1.
What?
I'm gonna go the lowest.
You going dollar?
By the way, if you guys know anybody that paid
We play by
$800 for a
closest, so I'm
custom
gonna say
Lego
30
fig,
bucks.
make sure you give him my contact information because I want to.
Or if you know this person, like have him come onto the show. We'll interview Christo Brown.
Oh yeah, just make sure he ain't lying about shit because I will cut him up and down.
If you know Christo Brown, reach out to us.
Make sure you
All right,
say
go
it
back.
back.
So we got
Crystal Brown,
45, 230. It's not 237.
Man, me and Dan are saying the same thing. I said
$90 bucks. $90 bucks.
I was thinking
I was
of 30.
85.
152.
Holy shit, it's still
Crazy.
high.
Woo.
Well, it's not.
I
as high
thought you
as
said it went down, Dom.
It did go down.
No more asking Dom questions. He's so
Really?
wrong at this
No,
game.
listen, Marco. It
The
went
last
down.
one, $90.
No,
Then
dude,
800.
this went down. It went down. This used to be a $300 figure.
Nah,
$400
no, it
figure.
was 200, now it's 300. 300, now it's 400.
Tree.
Dom, never
Two
listened
youths.
to you.
Hey, Wayseeker,
I
you
mean,
don't talk.
that's
You can't talk.
This is a
Yeah,
while
Wayseeker.
ago.
Hey, Wayseeker, I don't know if you're the guy
This
today.
is a while
Okay?
ago. This is an April.
Wayseeker,
ago.
hold on. Slow down. You today, not the guy to tell Dom not to
Oh,
talk.
come on.
Not you. JJ
Dom-
can. You know.
Dom puts a story in news, tells me to put a story in news, and then you just drop the ball completely. Just like,
That's on you. You run news. I didn't blame Dom for that. Go.
You shouldn't rib out for that one. All right. General Grievous, Hasbro, Star Wars, Black Series, Clone Wars, 6-figure.
Oh, wow.
6 inch.
This is the remake, the 50th anniversary. About 30.
Oh, this is the 50th
30.
anniversary one?
Yeah, about $40. I'll say 40.
Okay, but this is what happened. No.
This is a Walmart exclusive.
No, that's not what happened. What happened was this person Star Wars Walmart figure he did. He labeled this shit wrong.
What?
He labeled it wrong. 100
He's gonna
120
trail off
bucks.
there.
120 bucks. 120 bucks.
Okay, Dom's going
120.
40. You're going 120. I'll split the middle. I'll say 80.
Well, I still assume it's a Walmart exclusive. They just
It is a
phrased
It is a Walmart. No, so the original one I think was a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah.
But this is
I
the
don't know, I'm
remake.
gonna say
It was a 6-inch. The 6-inch figure.
Yeah.
we say
We got
90 bucks.
100. We got 125 in chat. So Ruben just did you dirty because he went $5 over you, Marco. You got like a-
guys.
You got like a small error here.
$29. All right. Let's
you
go.
got 40, 80. What do you got,
Let's see what we
JJ?
got.
Your last one.
Dude, this thing's
I
like
think
$5
90
and Sticks got it right.
said
200
90?
for Dan the Man.
You saying 90? No, JJ did me dirty. 34.
Oh, Sticks!
Sticks is the closest by a
No,
dollar.
Dom's at 40. He got it.
Dom's 6 away. Sticks is 5.
Yeah.
Sticks wins by a dollar.
Oh, yeah. $1. Yeah. Fair enough.
Whew. All right. Star Wars Commander.
Oh, Commander packs. I did a bunch of these.
This is
Oh, man. Auction and have a bunch of junk underneath it.
This one isn't one of the exclusives, is it?
I about to say, was this one of the crazy exclusive?
No, this
Entertainment?
wasn't-
No, this
No,
is
but it's
KB.
still some of them are rare. The regular ones too.
This
I'll
isn't
say
the
235. 235 in this one because the commando, the trooper, the clone trooper, the
$65.
commander.
$65. $65.
I'm gonna go
85.
40. 40 on this one.
235.
85. I got 40. Dom's got 35.
Oh, I got 35. I got 235.
235.
Oh, no.
235.
Oh, wait.
235.
The Commander one is one of these is
I'm gonna say
expensive. I think
70.
it's
One
the
of them is.
exclusive
I
one.
thought it was Earth.
It is Earth. It's the Earth one, I think.
Entertainment Earth ones are a lot of money, but there's some regular ones that are worth a lot of money too.
Yeah, but
because
no,
of the figures.
no, I think it's the Trooper one that's Entertainment Earth, and I think you're right on that one. And I don't think this one is.
I don't think this one's expensive. I think it's 40. What did you say,
Let's
Jay?
two exclusive
70.
figures.
70? 70
Yeah, I was at 65.
70 is probably pretty fair.
Yeah, it says Clone Trooper and Clone Commander.
Oh!
Shit!
235 seems like a lot, right?
Dan the Man came in 200. Dom got 235. Dom got that
Fuck.
one.
I didn't know if this was
I
expensive.
knew there was a high one, but maybe this was an Earth exclusive, and he just didn't have a sticker.
No, I think the other one is the one that's got.
No.
maybe some-
No, usually they have
There's
the
4 bids on this though.
What's
so
the
this
name
is
right there
wild.
on the sticker? I can't read it.
Unless they took the sticker off. But usually a sticker on Entertainment
sticker.
No,
Earth.
isn't it Bly? Isn't Bly on the Entertainment Earth one?
Commander Bly, I think.
I'm looking it up right now. We'll go to the next one. I'll look it up.
I think 4 bids look shaky, bro. That's all I'm saying. No, here. I'll look it up. Which one was that again? What number? Go back.
It's comic pack number 8, the Clone Trooper.
Okay, number 8. Okay, number 9. Got it.
Number 8 on you. All right.
They said
Hasbro Star Wars Clone Wars number 8 action
figures.
All right,
figure.
$85.
You get all these things. So you get 8 figure pack.
It's too many action figures for me to know. It's fine. I'm clueless on that.
You get Heavy, you get Fisto, R2, Rex.
Which ones are these? These are those tiny ass ones.
These are the ones from
All
like,
these.
like 2008.
You Vizsla.
Well,
That's a
2012, I
good.
guess.
I'm
This is
interested in
before
this one.
the Disney years,
And you get the display.
I guess. Well, it's an 8-figure pack. I assume they're all the bubbles are all on one backing. I would think from looking at it.
Stick says 345. Ruben says 60.
No, this looks like a display type. I don't know.
85.
Yeah, I'm at I was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 175. No, bro. Yeah,
I'd say
175.
$90. I have no idea.
175, 175.
I'll go 115.
Go ahead. 175. That's not
One-
enough. I think
130.
he got it.
Oh,
Chef got it.
Chef
Chef
got
got it. Chef got
Yep.
it. That's close.
Good job, Chef.
Yeah, each figure is a
It's
display.
It's
Yeah.
a display. Each figure has its own.
Oh, Dom, you better get this one to the dollar. I'll be very disappointed in you.
Actually, this couple of these just sold.
So
I'm
this
actually looking
comes
at-
with
This is the
Rise
Toy
Boba Fett Ultimate Battle Pack.
it
Yep.
comes with the like an
Sealed.
R517. It comes with the Mace Windu. It comes with an Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, cool! It's
a
Bubble Fett
Boss.
Starship.
Yeah, Boston, young Boba Fett. So I'll say 350.
Only at Toys R Us.
350, but the box
Slave
is a
one
little
is
beat up.
over 18 inches
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, so the box is a little beat up.
That's what she said.
Yeah, 315.
315, 235.
235.
I'm gonna go 420.
This Toys R Us stuff, which sold for pennies on the dollar when they were clearing out, literally what goes for a lot. So I'm like 6 1/4.
6 1/4. Okay, I got
I
14.
don't know why. I'm just
I don't
like
know.
6 1/4.
Everybody in chat's like in the 200 to 235 range. They're like jamming that range.
Yeah, I'm at 6 1/4 for some reason because I like drugs.
Hope we
What do you
close
got,
that.
JJ?
I said 200. Or no, I said
200. What did you get, Dom?
315.
315. I said 420. 207. Everybody in the chat got it. They're like right there.
Oh, really? Nice.
Six is-
What did you say, JJ? You said 202?
I said
I was
250.
definitely on crack on that one.
Yeah, sticks. But man,
I had to take a
chat
shot.
knew like exactly where this thing was going to end. It's pretty
Well, this is a
impressive.
box that's beat up. You can see the box is beat up, so that's why.
I don't
Put it in
really,
the box.
I mean, it's a little bit down there.
Yeah, the box means a lot. The box means a lot for the price.
Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Clone Wars Rex helmet.
115.
That's about what I was thinking.
So retail, basically.
I'm going to go a little lower. I'll go 95.
Nope, $65.
65, 95, 115.
$150.
What?
I'm just guessing. I have no idea. All these figures and stuff, I have no frame of reference.
Dick says
150 bucks.
89. 135 for Ruben. What did I say? I don't remember.
I don't know.
95? I said 95. 305.
What?
Comic Chef with 340.
Wait a minute. Wait.
No,
Wait.
wait. Yeah, what the?
This is
what
not
the
that
hell's
much
it?
money, man. I don't know who the hell put bids in this. You can find this in freaking stores. It comes out $120. That's how much the freaking goddamn mask was.
I'm telling you, I didn't make it. I'm just putting buttons here.
That's an inflated now 39 bids.
That's
I
a
don't know who
bid.
did
It's
that.
hard to inflate that many bids.
Holy shit.
That's a lot to inflate.
Let's see.
It's hard to
I
do.
know Captain Rex is a popular character. People like the character, and I understand that. But damn, really?
Well
305?
done. Well done, Chef. Pretty impressed. All right. Asajj Ventress lightsaber sets. This was 4,500 of these. You get the COA. You can also get that card.
Hey, was it? Oh, no,
This one,
500.
This is the
this
one
one
where
I
they only
think
gave you
was
one
$4.99.
light.
I think this was
Oh, no, they
$4.99.
gave
If
you
I
two.
remember right.
All right, 550. 550.
This was one lightsaber.
But you get two hilts. You don't get a lights.
Oh.
Yeah. You get two
There's
hilts.
only one hilt in the box.
Did anybody go 415 yet?
What?
Did anybody go 415 yet?
I think Dom's the only one that went He went 550.
Hey,
One of those helmets.
see, look, no, we see. See, Ruben took 550. I said 550 before Ruben put it down. So
515, 515.
One of those helmets right now is not even in the box and used, and it's got $137 with 13 hours left.
Wow.
Just so you know.
I'm gonna go 6 1/4.
6 and a what? Quarter?
What were these like? These are like $450 new.
I think they're 500 for the doubles.
Mm.
I only see one in here. That's the really weird thing.
what
Yeah.
about the
Because
card?
it's 2 hilts.
Check the card. The card could be a.
Maybe it's like
a
maybe the
numbered
box stacks
card.
on top of
It's
each
a
other or
numbered
something.
card too. It's
Yeah.
all autographed. So
The card, it is auto card. Yep.
no, it's an auto card, but it could be a numbered card too. A numbered like logo because every color the
I
color.
don't
I don't
remember
think
one
they
that came with an auto
I don't
card.
think they were.
Did it not come with that?
They all came with
including
card.
that as an extra?
They all came with the
Oh,
card.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember the
I
card
don't know.
either.
I feel like this though was not real solid. I don't know. I'm gonna say 450.
450. 450. Look at that, JJ.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's so close to.
Well done.
It was
So,
Entertainment Earth exclusive.
it was an Entertainment Earth exclusive.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's why
I knew they-
we got-
I knew those were super expensive, but
The sticker was off then.
it's like, yep.
No, I don't
Hot
think they put
Toys.
it in. Wait, hold on. I don't think they put a sticker on it. It was listed as an
It
Entertainment
had a
Earth exclusive.
sticker on there, but I couldn't read
This
what
is
it
going to
said.
be about
That's not what it was. No, it's on the back.
about 450. This is going to be 450.
It's Hot Toy Anakin. You say
With-
450?
Yeah, 450 because he's on the friggin' thing. It's
That's not what it was. It wasn't Entertainment Earth. You know which one it was? Is the official fan club one.
Oh,
Uh,
that one's brutal.
it's probably
Yeah.
pretty hard to get then.
That's because they have the little H on the back in the bottom corner. StarWars.com.
I'm gonna say this is new in box. Dom, do you know when all this thing came out? How old is this?
This
thing?
came out a year ago.
Oh wow, only a year ago.
And so about a year, remember, it was almost 2 years. Because I've seen it when it came out. I actually had it ordered, then I canceled it, and it was $375 when it came out. So
Oh, then I think it's more than that.
yeah,
I think it's 600.
450.
I think it's 400. I think it's about what it was.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm trying
501,
to still figure this out.
450, 675.
Oh
Yeah.
no! This thing, 812, 812.
250. 250.
250. Wow.
I'm
This thing
all
went
over the
down.
place. I'm looking
Good thing you
at
canceled your order, Dom.
Yeah.
You would have lost money on that one.
I don't know how popular this figure would be.
I don't think it should be.
You get
I didn't even know that droid thing had a name. Stat. What the hell is a stat? I don't
No,
know.
it's the machine. It's the rider. It's
I know
the,
what it is, but I'm saying I didn't know there was a name for it.
Of course,
I
there's a
can't think of
name
it.
for it.
The battle
All right.
droid for that shit.
We got an Oprah's Force Kit.
One
this one-
four scales. That's
What do you
pretty
think?
good.
Holy shit! Somebody's
sorry,
asking
yeah.
$969 for that comic back.
What do you think this one started at, Dom? Original.
Originally, it's a 1/4. 1/4 is a big fig. Is a Boba Fett over here is a 1/4 scale.
Premium format.
This right here, if I bring it up a little bit, that's a 1/4 scale.
Say-
Boba
How much?
Fett.
How
I paid
much?
5 and change for that when it first
I'm
came out.
I'm going 815.
This one's not going
Yeah,
to be
but
as
this
much as
isn't
Boba.
Boba Fett.
So I will go 3 1/4.
No, it's premium format, bro.
Yeah, premium format.
I'm gonna say $600.
I'll say
Premium
5 inch, 525,
Ruben's at 224.
525.
Chef's at 400. Got some other ones in there. I don't know if those. I think those are from this one. 800.
Oh, 815. I was close.
Woo!
Which
Nicely
is-
done.
Thank you.
And Clone Wars commemorative DVD
Oh shit! I have to get that. Damn, I have to get that freaking this Durance right there. Oh shit! I don't have that.
sealed with DVD.
It's about $40.
$40. You get your Dirge. You got your Dirge fans out there.
Yeah,
And you got Grievous in there too.
Must have been end
The
of
question
line.
is,
No. This is $32. I actually think I bought this for 12 bucks.
65
like a year
bucks.
ago.
$70.
32 bucks.
you wound me with your $70 after my
What?
65.
What do we got? Diddy.
I said $40.
$50.
Yeah, it's a 32. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
One bid, I don't know. That's shaky. That could be a offer. You probably offer him $32.
Who won? I won. I said 40
You did, and you and Chef
Definitely
died.
didn't win.
You and Chef died.
The problem
we
is that
got
series is so short. There's probably one DVD in there.
This one doesn't come with the book, right? There's one that used to come with the book. The book used to sell pretty good.
$85.
I think this is just the series. But
Maybe
there's an
give me
art
the
book.
Lost Missions though.
There was an art book in one of these, and the art book sold for a ton.
See, so it's not the complete series, right?
No,
2013.
but this is the complete series at the time.
Yeah. So it'd be only through season 5, right?
Right.
2013.
Yep. Season 1 through 5.
Sticks
Season
says
1 had a
season
book
one.
inside, but there was another one that had a book inside. There was
I'm gonna say, yeah, 5 seasons. That's probably a whole bunch of DVDs. And well, in this case, Blu-ray. I'm gonna say $200.
200. $80.
Actually, I'm gonna say 150 because I feel like it's not the whole series. So
It's not
there's
the whole
probably a whole
series.
series box set out there.
It's not the whole series. Who do you really want this in auction? 80.
Well, I bought that Clone Wars Blu-ray disc for $325 at Charles.
$325?
No, $3.25.
$3.25.
I'm gonna say, Marco, you lost money first time ever.
I'm thinking $40.
Dom's out. He didn't guess.
Did Dan say
I
300?
did guess. I said 85.
Oh, what did I say? You said 85?
Dan,
I said 80.
Dan. I don't give a shit what type of collector they are. $300.
I was second at 150.
Shit.
There you go, JJ.
Good job.
You
JJ.
need to sell yours, Marco.
It was not the whole thing. I only bought the one Blu-ray, though, on the Clone Wars with the Yoda on it.
Oh man, this trade paperback ain't worth anything. Anything.
used to
Remember
be
when?
a lot.
Remember when this trade paperback was like second Ahsoka? This thing was the Target exclusive.
Dog. It wasn't second. It was say a bunch of words to try to make it sound like it's a second fucking.
But you
Ahsoka.
only get the Target exclusive. So the trade paperback
True
now
first
is
my
worth
ass. That's the
maybe-
dumbest thing. That just means you're an
maybe
idiot.
$10.
Well, the first friggin'
You know what true first means is I'm gonna go
$10.
over to Wikipedia and try to change shit real quick. That's what
Yeah.
true first
I
means.
bought one of these for
Those books-
$16.
those books,
Years
the
ago.
first Book
2,
of 10
3
one
years
was
ago.
a lot of money.
Not anymore. Let me
No,
tell you that. First
Nah,
Bo-Katan
not
book
after
is
people
worth like
dump. Not
$20.
after the pumpers dumped it, Dominic.
I know. I've had it sitting in my.
I
fucking-
should have dumped it. Buy it now.
Buy it
Is
now.
it
I'm going to say
$18.50.
18
$29. $29.22.
$18.99.
$29.
What did I say?
I'm going to assume it's sealed, so I'm going to say $70.
I'm gonna assume it's sale too, so I'm gonna say these nuts.
Whoa! What drop? Why was that?
Hey, what the fuck is this?
Why is somebody?
Yeah,
I,
that is
don't
the
believe
bull-
it. I don't believe that for a second. That was a buy it now. Somebody offered. like
Yeah,
10
that's
bucks.
hey, that's
Underestimated.
Hey, here's a little trick. Let me tell you the trick of those guys. What they would do is they'd put something up real quickly, and then they have the other account
Let's see.
buy it now
Yeah,
for a
let's
ridiculous
see how
price.
right you are
Those
on the
the
book
shits.
price. I'm just curious.
Huh?
What was the name of that? You guys remember? Just
This
the book?
this ain't real. This ain't real. I
These
call
nuts.
shenanigans on this sale.
Yeah, I call shenanigans on this shit all day
What was the
long.
name of the book?
What?
I
That one?
can't
The name of
remember.
the book that came with it.
Hold on, give me 1 sec. I got it.
Shipyards or something. wasn't it?
Mission of Doom or something. Shipyard of Doom. Shipyard of Doom.
Shipyard of Doom.
Shipyard of Doom. That's the Target.
Shipyard of Doom, and that doesn't actually even look like the original one. That looks like the reprinted one.
No, that's the Target
It is
exclusive.
it's the original one from Target.
Yeah.
There's two covers. It's not a reprint, but
Oh, that
it's
looks
not
good.
worth anything. Clone Wars.
$15 roughly.
15.
What's the
Yeah,
but what's the
yeah,
movie?
yeah.
What's the movie worth?
Yeah, what's the movie worth? Can't be worth anything.
First Stinky.
Yeah.
So the book's worth 15. The movie might be worth what?
Well, that might be going up in value because of the Mando
It's
movie.
not
coming out.
going up in value, Dom.
Well, the listings are all weird. Like there's still people listing it for like $150, but there's others listing it for like $15 in like kind of ratty condition.
Yeah, you should be selling this thing. Sticks. Put it up there. All right, a 1 of 1 sketch. Soka.
$225.
It's a cool sketch.
Signed by
That's the end of line.
if it gets you can sign have Ashley Eckstein sign it.
Why would you do that? $425.
$425, huh?
I that could be low.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that might be a little
no. I
conservative,
think he's
yeah.
getting us on this one. I
I'll
think he's
go
getting on this
six.
one.
I'm gonna go 6 1/4.
I'm gonna go $100 because I think we're getting. I think
$100. I'm going 6 1/4.
He's tricking us on this. $100.
Was this an actual
Not a
card or was this like an artist 1 of 1? That's the other thing.
I think it's actual card.
It's
Usually
actually
when they're
from
labeled
those
Star
tops.
Wars like that.
It's tops. It's an actual card from
If
the
they give you a
tops.
year like that and it's labeled, it's got Star Wars on the front, it's usually from a set.
I got it. I got 100.
Whoa!
It's a
Look
big
at that. I got closest.
It was gonna be one or the other.
Like I said,
Maybe
conservative.
600. How would you say? Wait, what'd you say? What'd you
6
say?
1/4. 6 1/4.
Oh, well, yeah, he said 600. Okay.
Yeah, he went over me.
Jesus. Oof. All right. What else we
Wow.
got here?
Wow. I don't know if I
They
believe.
say
I mean,
Star
that's
Wars stuff
43
doesn't sell, huh?
43
Well, this
bids.
does. Huh?
43 bids. It
Well,
wouldn't
Wait
be-
a minute. Hold
There's two
on.
things-
Hold on now. There's 43
sketch
bits. That's a
cards-
third thing.
In sketch card world, there's two things. Artist doesn't really matter that much. If it's a famous artist, obviously, like
A
there's
one-on-one
couple out there
matters.
with, like Adam Hughes, and like those are going to go for an
Right.
insane amount, anyways. But there's two things that matter. First is character. Second is how well the sketch is done. So if you have a really good sketch like that of a really popular character like Ahsoka, it's going to go to the moon.
And if it's a 1-on-1,
Well, they're all 1-on-1.
They're all
Every
1
single
1.
sketch
Sketches
card's
are always
1-on-1.
1 1.
Wasn't
Where's Marco
43
taking this
bids?
thing?
I don't know where
Yeah.
Marco's going.
43 bids. Wasn't that? Yeah, the toy, right? Oh no. Shit, that was only 4. There's something else that we didn't believe the
43
price on
bids.
those 43 bids. This?
what's that?
This
43
right
bids.
here. I think there's 43 bids on one other thing. I see a pattern here. Shenanigans. All right.
All right.
right,
We
next
got another
bids.
card coming.
Mm-hmm.
Tops.
This
Clone
looks
Wars,
fucking
Ace
horrible.
Windu sketch 1 of 1.
It's actually based off the cartoon.
It is.
Yeah.
It looks
we
hideous.
we understand that. Wait.
Very, very Gindie-esque.
So now I'm going with $100 because now I think he got us with the 1,000. He's going.
I think 175.
I'm gonna go 470.
I'm going to do what Wayseeker did to me on the last one and say $575.
470.
Real quick, one thing that may
Ruben's
change
got
your minds.
300.
One thing that may change your minds real quick. Masterworks is the highest valued Star Wars set. So the box
Yeah,
set
but I
alone
think he knows that.
costs $500.
Yeah, I know.
See, these guys are all doing it. I think everybody's catching on to this.
$9.99.
Popular character,
for
decent sketch, high value
It
set.
is. It's not a great sketch.
That sketch is fucking horrible.
Whoa,
oh,
you got
see 100.
120.
This is
I
what
said
they did. I
175.
got it. I hit it.
did.
Yeah. Da 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 da.
What'd you
da,
say?
da, 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 da. I said $100.
Yep. All right. Clone Wars
Oh, God,
9.6 sealed.
825.
I love the not VGA.
This came with the comic book, right?
It's not gonna matter now. It's sealed in the thing.
But it did. It came with the comic book, if I remember right. It had a 3
If it did or not,
stories.
I don't remember doing it.
Get
3
one wrong so I
stories.
can
One
get
of
one
them
right.
was by
Wookie.
Timothy Zahn, if I remember right.
I will
Clone Wars 3 in a row.
go 345. 345. Oh, 9.6 is really high.
9.6 is high,
I'll go
9.6 is, but
not-
PlayStation 2 and all that.
but not VGA.
325.
That not VGA is the clue
Yeah,
there.
that's
When
the
you put
key.
not VGA, is like
Yeah,
going
because
not
who graded this?
Well, it's because VGA is typically assumed to be a little bit higher. It's like
Yeah,
CGC,
but it's kind of like the CBS.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah,
Whenever you
who's
say
this?
not
Who graded
CGC,
this? This is not VGA. Who graded it?
Wada graded it.
Oh,
It's a
Wada. I'm
9.6.
yeah. I'm still at 325.
I'll go 400. 369 for
250.
Stick, 675 for Ruben, 265 for Chef. What do you got, Dom?
825.
What?
825.
Whoa. What do you got there,
250.
JJ?
250.
350. I got
No,
400. Whoa, 135.
I won
Wait.
again.
Everybody was high.
Yeah, I was high. Wait, no, I didn't. I said 325. So Chef won.
Chef.
Good job, Chef.
Republic Commando. This is the hardcover. Yeah, this is the science fiction book club. Oh,
75?
man, I have
215.
I'm gonna buy it now. Also,
$75.
The Travis is there's a bunch of these.
211.
I think you're right in the right realm.
Yeah,
I'll go
211 because it's buy
I'm
it
gonna go
now.
250. Buy it now.
Oh, you fucking
$175.
We got
1.2
Ruben says 1.2. You know what? I'm gonna side with Ruben. I'm upping it. $300.
300.
Yeah,
Okay.
125. We've already done that. You can't call 125. You gotta get a new number, bud.
Who did 125?
Didn't you?
No, you did. What did you do?
Well, I said 125 originally.
You did
then I went to
212, and I did 250. You did 212.
No, I did.
You did
Okay.
212.
Okay.
$300. Going over.
And you went 300. So 125 is good. He's lower than us.
All right.
230 is right there. That's sneaky.
Cutting in.
$100.
It's
Stick.
$75.
Oh, 75. You won by a penny. Clone Wars, Defenders of the Lost Temple.
What do we have? The Bo-Katan book.
Oh,
I
first
think
Darksaber.
so. It's a buy it now. Some of these go, but there's been a lot of auctions lately. There's like one seller that puts them up like every other week.
It's first bow. It's first bow, yeah. And Darksaber.
No, we have to guess both numbers. Is that what we're doing?
Let's
Yes,
not.
both. The 9.8. I'm gonna say 800.
Wait, let me see how this asshole listed this.
That shit went down.
These are the listings.
I think the 9.8,
I see. Yeah, I'm looking at it. No, I get
9.8,
it.
3 1/4, and the raw, $50.
I think the raw is gonna be. I think you're right about the raw. I think it's gonna be 800 for 9.8. 9.8s are hard to find for this book. Somebody's gonna value it. I put
weird.
800.
There'd be a lot being such a thick trade paperback.
800 for 9.8, and I will say $60 for a raw.
Like I
I'm
said,
gonna
3
say-
1/4 for the 9.8, 3 1/4, and $50 for the raw.
I'm gonna say 75 for the raw and 550 for the 9.8.
I say I don't give a shit.
We gotta say the first one doesn't even say anything about Bo-Katan. It just says book by Justin Acklin and Dave, whoever Dave is.
But see, and that's how people were able to buy the book. When Bo-Katan first
By
came in,
Dave.
I
By
bought
Dave. I
Dave.
got this book by Dave.
My Dave.
They said the first Darksaber.
The other one says first Bo-Katan. So I mean, yeah.
Because people didn't know. At the time.
$70 buy it now at $979.
Wow.
Damn.
So I had 800 for the
I guess if
slab.
you got this
I
in
can't
good
believe
shape,
it's
right?
$1,000.
I had 60 for the raw, but I think
Ooh.
somebody might have got me on 60 above the 60. I
I
don't
wonder
know.
what the census is on this now, too. Now that I think about it. Well, I
Yeah.
guess census doesn't matter anymore now, does it?
That's all. we
Not
got.
anymore, doesn't.
That's crazy, man.
Not surprised. Not surprised. All right, what do we got? Toys or book?
All right, we can do toys.
Let's get these toys.
9999. Hold on. No, I'm checking the listing on that. What are they?
I like how Marco
Star
double
Wars.
checked
Star
everything.
Wars is moving.
Yeah.
If you got the right stuff, it is moving. I will.
Toys. We already did news. Toys.
I think a lot of Star Wars moving depends on what it was built on too, and you see
Yeah.
it in those books, right? That second Ahsoka Target exclusive versus the first Bo-Katan. Like,
Yeah.
It's all about wording. What you word it.
Oh yeah, by Dave.
Yeah, you could get us. You could sell to a sucker anytime.
don't
Exactly.
sell it by Dave.
Yeah, don't sell it by Dave. You need to put some good sizzle words in there.
All right, so Hot Toys is coming out with
What
a
happened
Clone
to flame
Commander
emojis
Gregor.
and keys too.
You know, for all you clone and trooper collectors out there, Hot Toys is making everybody's dreams come true with another clone trooper.
That's
Right.
not just
Hold on.
any clone.
Hold
trooper.
on, hold on,
Oh,
hold on,
Gregor,
hold on,
no.
hold on, hold on.
Gregor,
Justin Acclain wrote the story. Ben Bates did the art, and Mike Hathorn did the cover.
So who's
baby.
Dave?
By Dave.
Who's
I'm totally
Dave?
disappointed.
Maybe
Nobody
Dave,
named fucking
maybe
Dave.
Dave Filoni.
That
Shit
person
all
paid
about that
$70
book.
is going to be so
Yes.
upset.
By Dave, maybe Dave Filoni. Maybe saying it's created by Dave Filoni. There you
Why
go.
did you say Filoni, not by Dave?
I know. I don't know. The guy's an idiot.
Wait,
I'm
hold
surprised
on.
you got $70 for that.
Let me see where the date. Oh no, no. They yeah. Who is this idiot? Please don't be a moron that watches our show. Oh my god.
I'm sure that's like some sort of generated
Uh.
listing that they did. Or like, did they sell one like
Harry,
this?
so-
No, because they didn't even copy and paste it well from the other one.
Oh, Dave was a seller. Dave was a seller. Wookie said.
No, he said question mark. He doesn't say it for sure, but he thought maybe.
Could've
Anyway, so Clone
I can't
Commander-
even. I don't, dude. You don't even want to know what the seller's name is. So fucking idiot.
That's not gonna get returned when the guy.
Was it
bought
Dave
figures
Wendy's?
out
Dave from
Dave,
Wendy's? Remember Dave?
No, it ain't got nothing to do with Dave.
It's a Sticks Boy 73. Is that the seller?
Yeah, I wish. That'd be funny.
It's a hot toy. It's a hot
Put
toys
eBay message
exclusive.
out, like, I thought this was
Most
Dave.
likely, this might be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So they didn't mention it yet. So this could be. We'll see when it drops.
Yeah, forgive it that the seller sells Time magazine and Elvis magazines. Oh,
Here we go.
Books.
So we have a another the mech with Captain Rex. You can put him inside the
Mech suit
droid
look just like them.
Mech suit. From it's coming out soon.
what the fuck is this guy?
All right, here we go. This is the Lego. Here we got the Force Burner Snow Speeder. 349 pieces, $59. It has
Crazy.
the three characters that you were talking about, lightsaber and
Crazy price.
yep.
Yeah, it's
I hate
crazy.
paying $60 for 300 pieces. $20 a piece.
You get
online.
3 minifigs,
3 minifigs. $20 a pop.
or you can
Better
pay
than
$800 for one
Better pay
minifig
for the Cad Bane.
Crystal Brown.
But you get the orange. You get the orange lightsaber, first ever.
And we're getting this. We're getting the battle, the Separatist MTT, 976 pieces, $159, 12 minifigs. August
12
1st.
minifigs is a lot, but it's not a Roger
They're all
Rogers.
the same minifig,
Yeah, it's all Roger Rogers.
Roger,
Yeah,
Roger.
Roger Rogers.
and one A-list secure.
Yeah.
We're also getting the Turbo Tank, 813 pieces, $159.
Man, these prices are bonkers.
I know.
They raised them high over the last couple of 6 months.
Damn, you should start selling Loaded Guns paperback book, dude. That's
So we're getting a smaller Django
bodybuilder.
Starship. This is the second Django Starship, 707 pieces, $70, August 1st.
You buying this one?
Probably, yeah, because it's cheaper than the other one. The other one was like $300. Yeah, $200.
Cool. It's cool figures.
And you get what's it? Not a say.
No, Sue.
You got to get that one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's cool.
So I just saw this when we came on.
When people were telling you didn't do a fucking toy, so you had to go
I
grab
know.
something real quickly.
Yeah, so it's a 1999, 1,205 pieces and 7 figures. Shadow rumored.
That's,
Nice.
I don't know about that one, but
I assume it will open up.
Yeah. It's rumored right now, so we know. This is rumored. It's a leak. We're getting the carbon chamber. I don't know.
Didn't we get one of these not too long
I
ago?
know. I know, but might be a new one that they're making. 129, 988 pieces.
Boba Fett people will buy it.
Yep.
I swear we got one of these like
I how there's the
18 months ago.
photoshopped flame on there.
I don't know. It's a rumor. It's a rumor leak. I don't know. 2026.
This is
Yeah.
wild what this dude's trying to sell.
Marco's still looking up at Dave. This
Yeah,
Dave
Marco's
guy.
looking at eBay now.
Hey, you got the Obi-Wan with Ventress.
We've had this ship too, but I like the Ventress one. That looks okay. Yeah, just say it. Just say it, Dom. Just say it. Is that it? Are you done? Or more?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's I left that for at the end. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah, stuff. This guy's wild. This guy. Good for this guy that's trying to sell the stuff. His name is not Dave, by the way. But he just cuts and pastes stuff and tries to put together.
The only other Dave I really know is Dave from Wendy's. The Dave.
I think it was that. I think it was somebody
used
put.
to do Dave commercial.
I think it was somebody put Dave
Yeah.
created the thing and he just cut two things together, cut and pasted it, and then
Yeah.
he's selling wild stuff like bodybuilding books called
Well, he sells books, I would imagine.
Loaded Guns. Yeah, but he also sells DVDs. But he doesn't. Nothing's listed for under $100. Doesn't Star Wars Scavenger Guide to the Droids? That's the one thing that is a role playing game. That's $85. This guy obviously goes to auctions and buys lots, and then just single list slots. That's what he does.
He's just reseller.
That's what he does. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with it. It just he just takes whatever the highest price of the thing is listed, and that's what he prices his stuff at. So,
I hope you have a
Mummy
big
by
shed.
Dren.
Hope you have a big shed to put all that stuff in.
Yeah.
He does great jobs taking pictures. Shout out this guy. He does a really good job. X-Men Bishop Crossing hardcover signed by Scott, $129. Nobody's paying for that. Empire Strikes Back, making of Empire Strikes Back, $40. Okay.
Did you say Scott or did he say the last name this time?
No, it just said Scott. It cut off, but maybe probably might have said the last name after that.
No, why this picture makes Bucket of Blood look really cool?
Oh, we still have to do this crappy book review. All right, let's go.
Is that Bucket of Blood?
That's Buckets of Blood. Buckets of Blood wasn't even the worst part about it is Buckets of Blood wasn't even part of the Luminous 9, and he came in last second. It's tragic.
Oh my god! First off, the Luminous 9 is stupid because we know what that name is, right?
It's from
Luminous was the name of the group that this
Yeah.
code name for the group that was doing all the stupid.
I get that.
writing.
Yes.
So stupid.
So
Unoriginal.
I didn't go. I didn't.
Wait,
put
hold
all-
on. Before we get into that, you know what we need to watch? Is this a DVD? He's got something for sale that I'm actually interested in. It's called Raptor Gator, and it's a picture of it's a movie, and it's a woman in a bikini with a space gun and a crocodile.
Why are
hat.
you? Dom's gonna buy this. Why would you do this to Dom?
Oh my god! And this is rare vintage '79 fat.
You're just making Dom spend
Older
more
woman.
money, Marco.
Dude, this is amazing stuff. This guy's great. I love this guy. All right, go ahead.
I didn't put all the character stuff because we know the characters by now. If you don't know the characters by now, then you don't care about it.
Don't worry, they suck. They're
So
worthless.
we didn't
after
do
this
any
book.
of that. I just put the storylines. It's basically, if you don't want to read the book, the Luminous 9, they go to Planet X. They wear special stuff that kind of semi-protects them from the Nameless. In the middle of this, you get this battle of Aradu, whatever thing is called, where Porter Engle goes beast mode. That was a pretty cool part of the book. Let's be clear. Like, that was probably my best part of the book. Marcion Rowe goes full psycho and just starts blowing up his ship for no reason and takes the storm all down and sacrifices everybody so everybody can die. That was weird, but we'll talk about it later. Another storyline, after they get to the Planet X, they go 3 different ways. You got Ty Aslan and Reith go one way. You got Elzar and Avar going one way. And basically you got Bell Burry and a incapacitated Tarek going a different way.
Porno?
Partly incapacitated.
It might be.
To go after Markion. And then ultimately the balance is restored. This is the basic storyline of the book. I mean, I think Marco hated the whole thing. I actually thought there was some good.
Marco's opinion as well.
I think there were some good storylines.
No, I listen. Here's the thing.
I already
Okay,
dismissed it,
it's real simple. Real simple. Marcion Rowe literally, everybody liked him, so he decided to neuter the character and make him fucking.
He was been neutered. We had this discussion before. They ruined the character long before.
No. So I watched an interview with him.
I don't care about your interview. We had a discussion about this a couple weeks ago.
So then why read this book? So one of the most important characters that everybody liked at the beginning, they neutered.
That's
so
not
what's
on
the point?
Soul. That's
so
on
please,
everybody else.
Hey, calm down there, Spaz.
No,
I'm asking you a serious question now. Hey,
no.
Wayseeker,
We haven't heard any character about it. No, they had character development just ruined the character.
Doing this with this stupid ass book. The book was really long. It was dumb. If you made the characters not important, then what's the point of reading the book? I'm asking you.
The character wasn't important up to this point.
No, it was. You just said 2 weeks ago. You said it neutered it. So why are we doing a story on a guy that's got been neutered? Why?
Why wouldn't you? He's the main villain. You have to.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Let me ask you a question. The whole point of the High Republic eventually was that we're gonna get rid of some Jedis. How many?
No, that wasn't the main point of the whole Republic.
Oh, what about?
The whole point was the question is what are the Jedi afraid of?
Let me ask you some questions instead of you because you always ask questions. Let me ask you questions. Besides that, what about? Have we found anything out more about Kiwi and the
Lost 20?
Lost 20.
That's not his story. That's
no. So absolutely nothing on. It doesn't matter. That's part of it. So right now you give me 3 things that you keep coming up with excuses why we haven't.
Said what we wanted from this book.
Wayseeker, stop, Wayseeker. There's 3 things that we wanted answers to at the end of the High Republic. This is the end of the High Republic. 3 things haven't happened.
Wayseeker's right though.
What?
That was Kevin Scott's promise that he would tell us that, and it's Kevin Scott's story to tell. And Kevin Scott is the one who didn't execute on it. It's not the fault.
Well, no, this is supposed to be a group. Luminatus,
she's never been. She's a character that's never been in any of the books.
JJ, I don't care. This book sucked. It's stupid. I know he's trying to do this bit.
You can have qualms with the book and not think it's good, but your questions don't make sense. Is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if this is the final storyline of the High Republic, right? These were things that we were in the beginning of the High Republic that were cool things that everybody thought was cool. And we were led to believe we were going to get these answers. And guess what? We got none of them. Marshawn Rowe, at this point, he could have not been in this story at all. At all. You could have never introduced the character to us at all. And it would have made no difference.
How would that work?
It would have made no
The
difference.
High Republic is not in the final book at all. That makes a lot.
Well, it would have made no difference. There was no, there's really no, there's no point in the book because nothing happened.
More that happens with Marchion Rowe's character in this book than there all.
Yeah, they keep every 3 weeks they keep changing the way you pronounce the name. That's all the only thing that's changed with it. My point is, none of it mattered. None of it.
Okay, great.
Good
opinion.
And on top of that, the stupid thing about the balancing of the Force thing is a terrible ripoff of the of Dom's best thing with the mother, the son, the Mortis gods, and they didn't even do that shit well. They didn't do it well.
We asked in this book, the number one thing we asked for was that they close the High Republic. We had so many storylines that they weren't ending.
They
and it was
didn't.
frustrating us to no end that we're like, there's no way that they can tell this story. It's going to be open-ended, and it's not going to be the end. This was the end of the High Republic story. We got that,
buddy.
It might not have been the ending you wanted. It might have been ending that you
Wayseeker.
stuck. You think
Wayseeker. They didn't end the story. They just said, "Hey, nothing happened."
No, we got into the story.
No, Wayseeker. See, you put it. Hey, buddy,
Okay.
You put it on the fucking slide. It says balance is restored. That means nothing happened. For 3 years, they did absolutely nothing. Nothing's changed. Nothing's happened.
All right. So, are we going to review the book? Or are we going to have
Is
a
Reek
reformation
dead?
discussion on
Is
the
Azil
entire High
dead?
Republic?
Is Ezra dead? Is Ava dead?
So I had some thoughts. I think he stuck the landing. It's not that I think the High Republic.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
I don't think the initiative was good, but I think this book.
I think I lose a lot of respect for you trying to sell this dog shit.
This was Charles Soule's Rise of Skywalker. Where
Yes.
He tried to make everything work. Did it really work?
No.
Well, it was better than Rise of Skywalker, but did it really work? No.
No. I think, and honestly, I lose a lot of respect for you
there's
trying to
too
sell
many-
this.
And maybe it's partly his fault. Maybe it's not. But there's too many loose ends for him to have ended this well.
I'll be honest with you. As much as I dislike the guy, I literally searched to try to figure out, okay, maybe there's a way I could spin this where it wasn't his fault, but he has openly admitted to doing some of the work, to ruining it in a way that he has to take full blame for how bad
everybody
it
had a
was.
fairly good hand in ruining this.
I don't know, man. He's sure gloating that he was the guy.
Well, I
that
do know, and I say that I think
Okay,
everybody had a
well,
pretty good hand in ruining this project.
I'm gonna take his word on it. So, yeah, I have disappointments. The book was very long for one thing, and it didn't get to any of the points we wanted to. And it, like I said, it made Roe a stupid character that just.
So, one of the biggest problems with this book and tying it to the rest of the High Republic, the creative thing, the story. So the Gaze Electric. I don't know how much we're going into story detail here.
He blows it up. Roe blows it up.
He blows up the Gaze Electric
for no reason.
Which is also the reason why the Storm Wall and everything came down. But the Storm Wall came down 2 months ago in other stories.
In the other books, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't get what we're doing here timeline.
The timeline didn't make sense. You're right.
The timeline does not gel, and when you're trying to do a lot, in a publishing initiative, how hard is it to get that to line up? I guess it's probably pretty hard, but at the same time, major story details like that should not be hard.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're saying this book is great and he stuck the landing, that made no sense.
I didn't say it was great. I just
not
said
just
JJ.
I'm not saying you. Not saying you. Wayseeker said this book was great, and it literally says on the page, sticks the landing. Are we just avoiding what Wayseeker said and did?
I think he did stick the landing personally, because I didn't think there was any way he was going to be able to bring a story that was.
All you have to say is the end. You're saying that the guy wrote at the end of the book the end, and that's sticking the landing.
No, I thought it was going to be, and Marchion Rowe goes off and doesn't die.
And you mean like Ava Chris? You mean like Ava Chris and
Ezra?
Excuse me. Hold on. Let me keep going. You mean like who else? What's the guy that ended up bleeding the lightsaber? He didn't end up dying. Ezra and Oh, you mean
It
like
wasn't the main part of the initiative. The main part
hold on. I just want to know
was
how many of the
Markion.
Luminous Wayseeker. Let me finish. How many of the
Never let
Luminous
me
9
finish.
died? Please tell me how many of the
One.
Luminous 9 died.
It's not about deaths. Death doesn't
So
make
their
anything done.
stories, none of their stories finished.
No, not the whole story, but the story that we were told, which was the story of the Nameless and Markion. That is finished.
Okay,
What
I'll
about
say this
the
much for
20?
Well, they're not.
That's not the story that of a High
Well,
Republic.
I'll say
See,
this much
Dom-
for I'll say this much for the story that Soul directly tells. He starts off the first book of the first phase that he writes, and he
Not
gives
knowing
us,
any of the characters.
he gives us the 3 trilogy or whatever you want to call it of Man, Chris, and Geos, right?
Yep.
And those characters did see a finale, so he wrapped up that part of it.
He also
think
did give
in
us.
the
Hold on. He did give
in-between-
us. If you're going to do that,
Let me
he also
finish my
did give
point
us.
for a second. In the
Wreath.
in between of everything else,
I don't get to finish anything. You talk over everybody else, and then tell everybody not to talk over you. So go ahead.
in the in between of everything else, there was no final point. But I don't know that that's necessarily something he could do that great, or that's his responsibility to do in this book. I think he did a decent job trying to tie up all the other loose ends. Some of it made sense. Some of it was pretty nonsensical. Like the whole, like, apparently we're just going to forgive, what was her name? Gia Staros or whatever.
Yeah, that was
her,
weird.
like, well, you know, we made a deal that you get off completely scot-free. Oh, and you get a position in the Senate. Pretty about that whole, like, a whole bunch of people dying while you were, like, helping run the Night Hill
Yeah,
type
you
of
betrayed
thing.
a lot of people, and you're banging a row. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so there's a lot of stuff that he kind of just, like, made up to, like, kind of end things. So
Yeah.
I don't know that I give him
I
full
think
credit
it was
for
just
ending it well.
It was just a rush. I mean, we all said this. Like, they should have been
Yeah.
wrapping this thing up. They should have been wrapping this thing up 3 books ago.
Right.
And they gave Soul the job to wrap everything up. And I think he did as good as he could have done. I think he stuck the landing.
I don't think.
Was the overall grade, if you want to say that for the initiative, this was a D for me.
This is an F. How can you give it a D and then say that
This
I
book-
mean, it had. Go ahead.
This book,
Here's the thing I'm saying. You didn't have to put the timeline thing in there. The row self-destructing where he just somehow decides to blow up the electric to knock the wall down because he's like his mindset is that he just wants to destroy everything is no character development at all. Like, just develop a character. What character? I mean, I'm just sorry, but like, what character from? Because JJ, my point was what you were saying before I stopped was it wasn't just that trio that he introduced. He also introduced Blade and
and
Wreath,
Blade got a good ending.
and he kind of got a good ending.
Blade
I
got
guess.
the best in the whole book.
Okay, yeah, he probably got the. I'll give you that. He got the best in the whole book, but like, he didn't do that. He didn't do justice to any of these characters. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna bleed out the blade that I find laying down and go off to no place. Like, come on, man, come on.
But
I'm gonna do the Mortis gods, but
those
not
are
as
all
good. Come
side.
on, man.
Those are all side characters. What are you expecting their ending to? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not going to have some grand 3-chapter send off for every character. Like,
Yeah, but I mean,
who gives a shit about Aslan Rail?
well, they made a big deal out of him. Remember, it was who's this secret guy we're gonna see forever.
And he played a part, but he wasn't the main character. He wasn't even one of the top.
Yeah.
I don't know who the main characters are. I'll be honest with you. The way they did Ro, that's what I'm saying. Who's the main character then? Blade. So the cook,
Ro's the main character.
the cook became the main character.
And
Here's
and
my
the
problem
main
with it, Wayseeker. But here's my problem with it. If he's Indiana Jones kind of. If you don't have him in the story, nothing changes. Nothing changes. What changes?
there wouldn't be the whole story.
There
There
was no story there anyways.
Nameless.
It was all over. Yeah, but the Nameless, dude, to get to the end part where like, oh, the Nameless has to be the balance of the force of the plagues that turn over. Oh, we killed too many Nameless. Like, dude, that's stupid.
I think
It's
you mean
just
the
stupid.
Shakahari.
The Shakahari, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shakahari.
Again,
They're not
That's all
nameless
done.
anymore, dang it.
Again,
Yeah. Well, because of the song.
I don't
It's a
think the
song.
High Republic Initiative worked. I gave it
Yeah.
a D. A D is not
The
good.
nursery rhyme.
The only reason I give it a D is because I like some characters that I introduced. I really like Belle.
Okay,
I really
hold
like
on though. Hold on though. If you all of a sudden, even if like that, like they started murking everybody and Marsha and Ro, you get a little bit of mystery in the end, but you know, like he went out to a different planet or something like that. He did the Ezra man thing instead. Like or you know what? If he actually did the Elzelin thing, I guess I wouldn't have had that big of a problem with it. But it just no. Like no.
I actually didn't mind him dying at the end either, but that's the only way it could end.
When it comes to like I thought, I kind of had a little bit of a problem with Rogue's death, and that I think it should have just came sooner. Like I think it should have just came when him and Bell were having their square off fight or whatever.
That's
you
fair.
want to call it. Like
I'm fine with that.
to me, that should have been really the end.
I'll be honest with you.
When,
Kill Maul off.
I hate when they stick something in the epilogue like that. Like your story is pretty much ended, but then so
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
it makes it kind of like a footnote
again,
then at that point.
It wasn't a perfect book, but the initiative was not good, and he did the best that he could do. That's all I
He
was
was some
leader
credit
of
too. I
the
like
initiative.
some of the decisions, like Bell being the one to take on Marciano, like that.
Yeah, I love that.
That was
But
good.
here's the problem. He's the leader. The first book, the leader and the finisher of the initiative. He did that. If you shit in a pie, you can't say, well, the ingredients were bad. You're the one that took the shit in it. You're the one that physically shit in the pie. Like you gave the recipe, you crapped in the pie, and then you served the pie, and you're saying, well, he wasn't the only one because somebody else was over there, mixing up the poo-poo drink. Like, dude, he did it. This isn't good. And you could say, like, well, how would you expect him to stick the landing? That's not my problem. You didn't ask me how to do that. What you said was, did he do it? No. Well, how do you expect him to do it? I still didn't. No, I thought it was a mess. I didn't expect him to do it, but he didn't do it.
I
He
think
didn't do
he
it.
did. I think he did for what it was. But
No, see, there you go. You don't think he did. You said, I think he did for what it was.
I think I'm just saying. I think he stuck the landing for what he was given.
Yeah, I mean, so from your perspective, though, Marco, there was no way he could have fixed it, right?
No, because it was in itself.
So
it was a
your
problem.
automatic response to that question then is just no.
Yeah. That's right. It's an easy question. It's just like what happened to Marshan Rowe. It's really easy. No. It is. Because he was part of it. He wasn't just part. He was the leader. He was the person who did the outline. He was the one in charge. And then you're saying, I don't understand how he could.
I don't know if I buy that. I really don't.
Yeah, I think you're sticking to like what's he gonna? Okay, so let's say that you're both writers, right? He's working with Kevin Scott on this thing. Yeah, he's the lead project. Kevin Scott wants to do the Lost 20 and the Kiwi thing. Are you gonna supersede him and put it in the middle of your epically long already book? Are you gonna let him finish what he said?
No, but there was so much stuff that and that's another thing you don't mention is how epically long this thing was too, which it didn't need to be.
It was a little long.
It was a little long, but he had a lot to do because they didn't do anything.
But that's his fault. It's like
that's not his fault.
Yes, it is.
It partly is his fault. I don't know that I put as much blame on it as Marco does, but it is partly his fault.
Yeah, I don't think I buy that he had as much power as you think he did. I put a lot more power in Michael Stiglin's hands, who was the project director and the overseer.
Once again, even if you do, the Gaze Electric is the perfect example of it. Your timeline, why would you even have to have that do it? Like, you're so uninventful that you have to do the explosion of that to take down the wall because you couldn't have figured out a bigger way or a better way or like flashback to do that. So you're just like, shit, I'm gonna crash this plane for no reason, but I need to do that as a MacGuffin. So if I do that, then I'll just easily, cheaply throw in that it also takes down the wall, which made no sense why that he would do that. Made no sense why he'd do that at all.
Okay, but that's a good example of why he had to do this because nobody else did it. Somebody else 2 or 3 months ago wrote the storm wall came down, but nobody gave us the reason why. So he had to stick it in this book because it's the last chance to tell us why.
Well, hold on though. If I don't, guys, I think you're thinking like, oh, they didn't talk this out. You're like, every person was separated that much. That is not.
I don't think they talked it out. I think that's part of the problem. I think they came in and they had a really good vision for.
So then just pass on the Stormwall thing. You passed. Wait, hold on. You can't have it both ways.
So
you can't say, hey.
At all?
You can't say, well, you don't know about the Lost 20. You guys don't seem to have a problem with that.
I will have a problem. I'll blame that on Kevin Scott if he doesn't stick the landing for his.
The Stormwall is pretty directly related to the end of the Night Hill. Like the Lost 20 thing could come later.
Yeah, but that happened. That happened in real time 3 months ago. Not even in story time. It happened 3 months ago. It happened in real time 3 months ago.
That's one of the biggest.
There was like 4 books that came out after that already. That
I agree. That's not on. That's on other people.
Problems.
So he doesn't have to touch it.
No, you have to because you have to tell how it happened. It was stupid that they didn't do it. But you can't just have the storm wall come down and never talk about how it happened.
Yeah, whatever. This book's stupid. It was stupid. The initiative.
Yeah, I think
was
Marco
stupid.
came across finally.
I was
to our
not a
point.
fan. I was not a fan of the.
not.
First
I'm
off,
not coming
the
to-
blight. The blight should have never been introduced. If you want to talk about stuff that shouldn't happen,
There's so much stuff that should have.
That was a
We got
hammy
nothing with
ending.
like the nameless that they
But even his
experimented
explanation.
on.
Hold on, time out.
phase
And
three. We had the
that's
Jinger
it.
come back. We had the storm wall. We had
JJ
so many
just
enemies.
explained
that
this.
had
Hold
no
on,
point
hold
in
on. In this book, though, going back to this book, which you guys like to go to a bunch of other things we talked to this book, JJ even brought it up. They changed the name of the Nameless all of a sudden for no reason. For no reason. Because now it's
Well, I
the
think he did
Shatiki
it.
or whatever.
yeah,
And
I
then,
think
like-
they did it because they're no longer the nameless. Now they're the force that holds the blight back or whatever. But
Yeah,
And
and
it was
now they
stupid. I don't
that
agree
that
with
was
the choice,
stupid. The choice to do that to
don't
hold
care.
that back. But that's what. Well, oh, it's
Of
sticking
all
the
the things
landing.
to care about
You
from
said,
the-
I don't care.
what they're called.
Wayseeker, hold on. Every single time I bring up a point and say this is stupid, you're like, yeah, I don't care. It was stupid.
I just.
But then you said it's a
not
great book.
big
He sticks the
deal. Like the
landing.
big deal is Markion. Markion was they ruined Markion's story the whole phase 3. The whole phase 3.
I don't disagree with that. No.
That's the big deal.
A lot of the ending was, like Wayseeker said, rushed, and I think that made it seem convoluted and messy.
It was
Is the
long
best way I
and
can put
rushed.
it.
though. It
Stupid
wasn't.
Stupid is another word I could probably use for a part of it too. Like the whole blight thing. I didn't so much mind the whole like Mortis God, Avar, Chris, Elzar man, like one light side, one dark. Like because that's a good way to. That's about as good a way to get rid of those characters without actually killing them off. That
Fine.
you're gonna probably do.
Fine,
like,
but
the fact that they like the nameless all of a sudden became this like sort of entity that held back the blight made no sense because one, they should have never had the blight and the nameless thing going on at the same time. Like
right.
that just
Agreed.
never made sense. And now you get to the end and you have to have this weird convoluted reason for why the nameless and the blight were both existing as villains or whatever you want to call it at the same time. And it turns out, well, one of them is not really a villain.
Yeah, but
Agreed.
it sucks the life force out of the good. No, but that doesn't make sense.
I
It
know
doesn't make
sense.
sense.
That's what I'm telling
But
you.
what I'm saying is, so like, come up with something that makes. But like, I get it. But come up with something that makes sense. Come up with like the poop of the nameless is what the blight is. Like, I don't know, but that made more sense. Like,
No,
that makes
any more sense.
no.
But
Like,
that
if
would
you
be
suck
like
the soul out of a
The gas,
Jedi,
the
all of a sudden,
farts,
his
nameless farts hold it
excrement
back.
becomes the blight. I don't know, but that makes more sense than what.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
and, like the fact that they were all of a sudden sentient, but they weren't sentient before.
Yeah,
we thought they weren't.
right.
We thought they weren't sentient for
exactly.
2.5 phases of this thing.
Yeah.
There's theory out there that the whole Aslan leaving is somehow connected to the stranger. So like a non-Sith Sith.
Like a cult.
So like,
I
so
can
that
see
was like
Aslan running a cult.
Well, that's not true because he bled the saber.
to Red.
To
Which
Red, but
doesn't
that
make him
doesn't-
Sith. He's just dark
Yeah, that
side.
doesn't make him Sith. We saw that in the Acolyte. She bleeds the thing.
Yeah,
red.
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that was the point. Like maybe they were trying to find.
But
some way
but
to
my
connect
point is
the
like, why
Acolyte.
would you do that? Why instead of doing that? That's what I'm saying. It was like the ticky tack dumb shit. Don't do that. Make sense of. Spend more time making the sense out of the nameless in the blight. Spend more. I just came up with an idea that sounds ridiculous, but sounds better than what he did. I don't get paid to write shit. That's not what I get
I
paid
don't know if
for.
it sounds better, but it doesn't sound worse. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Shut up.
Arguably better.
Do you think we'll ever see Elzar and Avar
arguably
again?
better. It's arguably better than what he did, and that's my point. Is like, whatever. I mean,
Do you think we'll
I
ever
don't
see it
know.
again?
So I don't know how the Elvar I hope we don't ever see them again. I hope this is basically just the end of their chapter. They already
I
did
hope
their
not.
goodbyes. They're on opposite.
It's not going to
worlds.
be
They're
because he's
basically-
going to put him in a comic somewhere.
Well, they're basically dead to the world, right? Everybody gets mind warped into forgetting about the planet. The planet's not supposed to technically exist anymore. Nobody's supposed to know how to find it. They're the only humans there. I assume that'll be like a weird Mortis God thing where somehow the Force keeps them alive spiritually. or something.
Unless a nameless dies, unless a nameless dies, then all of a sudden they might die from the fucking blight because of
That's the other thing.
Sentinel
Like,
nameless.
all right, like, do the nameless somehow repopulate asexually now, and like the
I was wondering-
Elzar and Avar get to leave?
Are they gonna like?
I don't know.
Are like the nameless gonna bring them food every day because they can't like go anywhere? Like what's
That's
that
what I'm
gonna
saying. I
do?
think it's the
Are they just gonna
Force somehow
starve
keeps
to
them
death?
alive. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I don't know how it works either.
And by the way, when Palps when Palps revived himself in the clone, did that mean that technically a blight died and like a nameless was born? Is it like wings? Like, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. Now, every time fucking Force user lives, the fucking nameless alive, and every time they die, a blight. Like,
that's the thing, though, right, Marco? Like, do you want whatever silly ass story they're going to pull out of their ass to tell you about Elzar and Avar coming back? I don't want to.
No, but the blight, nameless, whatever the hell they call it after that, that doesn't make any sense in Star Wars at all. Like, it doesn't make sense. No, I know, but like that in particular doesn't make sense in Star Wars at all, because it's always about the balance of the Force, and it's all that there's what like this now means like if a nameless dies, there's no balance of the Force anymore. So fuck the Sith. Sith aren't important. Fuck the Jedi. Nobody cares about that anymore. All the Lucas stuff is gone. Now all it is about is blight and nameless.
Oh, I mean, I think you're right there, Marco, and that's kind of what worries me. Like, we could get an initiative in the future where like this all happens again, right? No. Somebody else finds the planet. Somebody else takes the nameless off. It happens again, because we know it happened in the past with the Ptolemites. We told that the blight showed up and they figured out how to fix it. So we could really see this. We could see a whole other initiative of the same thing.
We all forget one thing. There was Sith totems that we've had no definition of any, like, we still have no reason why those were even a thing.
No, we still don't have that. That's
again.
Yeah, agreed. There's lots of issues with this High Republic thing, but we could see this again.
But that's his fault. He could have Marchand Road, the Nameless, and the Blight, and instead he did it to Marchand Road.
I wish that would have happened.
But that's what but you did it because you said he stopped the landing. Wayseeker, this is what pisses me off about your dumb shit and you being a fucking asshole. You can't say I wish that happened and you're right and go, yep, fucking stuck the landing. No,
I mean, it's an ending that made sense. It's not the ending I would think is great. I'm not saying this book is great.
It didn't make sense because the Blight situation and the Nameless situation in the grand scheme of all the Star Wars universe does not make any sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make the sense at the beginning of the story. But
thank God,
I think it's just stupid. I think it makes sense that you have these things.
Wait, which one happens? What happens if you just freeze Nameless? If you freeze Nameless, does that mean more Blight happens or less?
They were frozen.
That's frozen.
What I'm saying.
It's only
That's
when
what I'm saying.
They're not dead.
They're unanimated.
Frozen in carbonite.
Thank you, Dom. Dom's only the smartest one of all of us because he didn't read this dog shit.
No, but I just hope we never see that planet again. I hope we never see Elzar and Avar again. I hope we never see that planet again.
That's not sticking a landing in the book if you hate every character and every storyline.
No, I don't hate the characters. I do hate the planet. Elzar and Avar are fine. I just don't need them again.
You usually don't say, hey, Dom. If I'm like, Dom, I don't hate you, but I don't ever want to fucking see or hear your fucking name or your face, or I don't want to see you again. Does that sound like I fucking liked you?
No, because it made they practically are dead. Like, that's fine.
No, I don't know where he's from. Where I'm from, if you say some shit like that, that means we ain't friends.
No, that's not.
I'm gonna insert my own question for the series of questions here for the panel. Do you guys think if this book was simply the end to Phase 1, and Phase 1 was the only High Republic story we got, not an extra 3 years of 2 other phases or whatever the hell it was, would this book have been better if it was just the end of Phase 1?
No.
No.
No?
No, it
would have to be completely.
It would be.
Would it be better?
It would be.
Okay, hey, wait, hold on. Is there going to be a Phase 2 after this?
No.
No, this is the end. It's the end.
No, then I'll be like, that was dumb. Why do we even introduce? Same thing I'm saying. You know what? Here's the thing, JJ. That's very interesting. Hold on. No, let me finish. No, let me finish. Come on, man. Here's the thing. Mine would be the exact same points that I'm making right now. Would be the exact same thing I'd say at the end. Like, no, because it's not a finished. Like, you left open-ending stuff. You did something dumb. What is his name? Was like
what was
all the same. Huh?
What was left open-ended?
Well, you still left people alive.
Let me end that. Let me say, what was left open-ended that you knew from Phase 1?
nothing. I just.
But it
The
wouldn't
reason
move
I-
the story.
I agree with you,
This is
JJ.
the
I
end
don't
of the
think anything
story.
was.
There's no reason to move it forward.
You could say,
But-
yeah. What I'm saying is, it didn't. No, it didn't move the beginning of the story of Phase One. Didn't. It doesn't feel like it got moved.
I
by
think
this
you're
book.
right. It would have been maybe a little bit. It would make sense. Like, how do you go from the fall of Starlight Beacon to this story? There has to be something between that.
Same way they just fucking did this dumb shit.
Well, the whole shit is that they went off the storyline of Phase One, went to Phase Two,
No,
went
no, no, no.
back.
That's not
Wait,
JJ's
wait,
question. I want to try to answer
Well, that
JJ's
is my
question.
question.
Well, that's
More or
his
less.
question. Yeah.
That is kind
But
of
you
my
have-
question. My question is, if you remove pluck out the characters that we
Yeah,
got
it
in
is
Phase Two, like
Cosmic
Aslan.
one.
If you just
Oh,
pluck
yeah.
out Aslan's story and act like it didn't exist there, and
Yeah.
you're looking at the story of just of Geos, he's already dead, of Elzar Mann, of Avar Kriss, of Markion Ro. If you're looking at just the story of these main characters that we got in Phase One, Burry, Bell, Wreath, etc.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not saying skip all the Phase 3 stuff. You're saying keep Phase 3 stuff.
Well, you can keep the Phase 3 stuff that involves those characters, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense to me. I'm just trying to like.
The only,
I'm
the
basically
thought
only
saying
you were
if you
gonna
one.
condensed it, if you plucked out all of Phase 2, because Phase 2 didn't really matter,
Yep.
you took some of the stuff that happened in Phase 3 and you shoved it all into one phase, would it be better?
Here's
Yeah.
here's the thing I'm going to tell you about that, and I think it's the one thing. The Martian Ro stuff, if I recall correctly, was Phase 2 when they did the background of his family. And
Did that matter?
well, it doesn't. No, because they just killed the character off for no reason after just neutering him. So like,
That's my point.
but no, because then the point is the characters, if they do this book in the beginning, it's the same as now. I don't think they made any of these characters good, memorable, or worth getting invested in. And it, like, even the ones you tried to get invested with when you first gave it to us, and we're like, oh, these are investable characters. I think they purposely, and he did this too, just was like, finish it off without killing them. Like, it's okay. Like, he even bring what's his name, Torm back too. Like, is Force Ghost, but the Force somehow. How the fuck is the Force now? The Force can just go kill people, by the way, or beat them.
Well, that's
Which
been
is also
happening
something
forever
stupid.
with or without him, but yeah.
I mean, it's just like a lot
Everybody
of
comes
stupid
back to the
stuff.
damn Force Ghost nowadays.
I know, but they, without even reaching out to them.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I think my question, I guess, to you is, because of this book, does it make it even like Chef's thing, even more of a pass now? Like, pass.
I don't think this book hurt that. I think it was a must pass well before this book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this book. I think this book was the nail in the coffin. Like, this is like
It's
the
supposed
last.
to be.
Yeah, of past though, but it was supposed to be it was supposed to be a victory lap of how great
I
the
would
initiative-
call this book one of the top 3 books of the High Republic, and that doesn't saying much. But like, when you're gonna rank the High Republic books,
Well, now because this book shit on a lot of them. My point is, if you, oh man, I forgot my point because you just said something so stupid. It fucking
you
numbed my
could-
mind.
I don't think you could.
You
come
said
up with
something
anything
so
right.
fucking stupid, Wayseeker. You said something so stupid. My mind, which never goes blank. I can go forever. It just like took the words out of my head. Did you just see that? I just went like this.
Well, I
went like this because that just
Use the
fucking
damn
melted
force.
my mind.
The force is right in your mind right now.
I've
Yeah,
never
give
heard
me
something
your
so
top
stupid.
3, and give me your top 3.
No, there's no. I'm not doing.
what I would
top
like to
three.
see for this is
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
if you just like if they're going to do like another initiative rather than another initiative, I would just like to see this rewritten as one phase with a lot of the fluff taken out, a lot of the stuff you don't need, like all the Phase 2, the Phase 3 stuff. I don't even like, as much as I like the what was I can't remember the name of their crew now, but the Geode and Leox.
Geode,
and
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Affy. Yeah, like even that crew, like that's really not necessary
Vessel.
to tell the story. Like,
Well,
yeah, it was
you're
entertaining for one book, but after that, it kind of got
That's
dragged
see,
out
that's the
too
part.
far.
That one was entertaining for one book. That like in the beginning, it was really cool, and they should have stopped it after. There's
That's
no
what I'm
reason for
saying.
that thing.
Like, if you
You're
can
right on that.
condense all this stuff, I think you have a good story there. But there's so much you have to take out, rip out, condense, and kind of just compact into this one phase that maybe should have been like a year and a half tops.
Okay, can I?
I-
Oh, hold
well,
on.
I
Can I?
think you're
Can
right.
I? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Like, we got a couple names here. We got Eslin. We got Ro. We got Ezra. We got Ava. And then Planet X, all the would you not say at one point all these names would have gotten you excited in this phase because of how they were introduced?
Well, a lot of them was introduced in phase 1.
I that's not what I asked. I asked you would if I at one point, and maybe it's in phase 1, whenever it was, when you were introduced this, would the concepts not get you excited?
Well, yeah, they did.
But
That was
not
phase 1.
but in this book, not one of those I was like, yeah, dope.
Well, yeah, because you heard it. We've heard about the freaking Planet X for like 3.5 years now.
Yeah, that's the
and how they were supposed to get to the damn planet.
I
like, it took them
understand that,
3
but
years
he's
to get
still
to this planet.
but he still put
I
it in
think
the book.
I think Elzar's story was good. Like, I don't think I had a really bad part of Elzar's story. The problem is it just took too long.
I
and it
like
was drawn out.
Elzar's story. Yeah.
Overall, Elzar was a good character.
Also, why wasn't there a Nameless when he went and saw Luke Skywalker on that planet?
Well, it's because it's not really him, right? Wasn't it like
I
weird
know.
I don't know.
monster
This book
acid trip
sucked.
him or something?
0.0.
This book was one of the best. Again, not saying much. When I look back at the High Republic, there's not many books that I would ever recommend.
Not one book did you not give like a 5 out of 5 to. So
But
that's not.
That's not true. There were some books I did not. But overall, it's a bad initiative. Bad.
All right, move along.
That's
We've
it.
covered this
That's
garbage
it.
long enough.
Yeah.
0.0. Waste of
man.
time. Waste of toilet paper. Throw it away.
I will say this. I'll say what I said earlier in the show. Let's get back to doing good stories, because even the non-High Republic stuff has been mostly stuff lately in novels and stuff that I would pass on.
I know it's not
So-
going to get better. I really don't think it is.
Yeah.
Because we got Yord, and then
That's
we
still
got
High
Bad Batch.
Republic though. Like that's what I don't get.
Then we get Bad Batch, Sanctuary. And you know what I'm not excited for? A Bad Batch book.
You said that, but the comic turned out to
Yeah,
be okay.
well, the last one wasn't, but yeah, the Bad Batch comics have not been awful.
Yeah, but I don't want a whole book. Comics fine. Still small digestible thing.
You know,
Short
you
stories.
think that, but a lot of the books I really liked were about troopers so far. So I don't know.
And
But
then
I've
after
also
that,
I've also gotten a little bit sick of like Bad Batch in the way, like I'm ready for like a kind of like a new squad. Like Bad Batch, we've had what 4 years of Bad Batch story.
yeah, I agree. And then after that, you
You
get
got
the
a lot of
Sith
that.
guy. You get that Sith book, the guy that wants to be smarter than Charles Soule. That said, I figured out something that Charles Soule missed. That book comes out later this year. I'm not excited for that book.
That's not hard.
Well, it's
I'm just joking.
I know, but
Dude, hey, somebody clip that, because if that guy writes a good fucking book, I'm going to be shitting all over Wayseeker.
you said you saw him at Celebration and you said the guy was arrogant and you wanted nothing to do with him.
That's
Usually
true, but
when
now
one
I'm
guy
pulling
thinks he's
from him.
smarter
After
than
this
another
book.
arrogant
This
guy,
book was
that's
so
what-
bad. This book was so fucking bad. I'm pulling for that guy now. That's how
But,
bad
like,
this book was.
There's not a book that I'm excited about for the rest of the year.
There's hardly any. I feel like for the rest of the year, only 2 novels that I know of.
Well, that's also too. They're not like. Well, I think part of it is they're not letting people write what they want to write. You talked to Timothy, and that's what he told you.
Mm-hmm.
Let people write what they want to write. That's where some of the best stuff came. When you had Chuck writing about, like, dude, could you imagine Chuck's pitch about doing Aftermath?
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be
talk
crazy.
about what Aftermath was. That doesn't even sound like a good pitch. Or can you talk about what's their name when they decided to do? What was the new squadron that they did? The one with Alphabet Squadron. Could you imagine Alphabet Squadron? Yeah, we're gonna do Alphabet Squadron because each kid's got a different plane. You know, like alphabet letters. Yeah,
Well,
bro, like those are
That's-
bad pitches, but they were great books, great series.
That's the one thing I'd like about, like, you know, if you're gonna bring in new writers, let them write new stories with different characters. Like, you know, like
What was the last book? I was
although I didn't like
excited
the
about?
book, like don't give the guy a Mace Windu subject to write. You know, if he wants to write an original Star Wars story, let him write an original Star Wars story. I don't care if he's new or not. Give him a shot. Let him do it.
Yeah, like if wasn't somebody supposed to write the Broom Boy story?
Oh God, I wouldn't want that.
You say that, but let it. But if somebody's passionate about it, let them write the fucking Blue Boy story. I don't.
I can't think of the last book I was excited about. Maybe the Kira book. Oh, the other book that we're getting is the one with Finn book. We're getting a Finn book this year.
So
Oh,
nobody else
yeah,
wants
I
it.
forgot about that.
We don't want that book.
But
Nobody
again,
wants that book.
that's the thing. Like new characters, new writers, new characters, not like guys that reheated from 6 years ago that we already know a lot about. Like,
Except for in the case, well, you can say that, except for in the case of like Tarkin and Dooku, like it has worked. I think people just have to want to write it. That's where I think it is. I think like, and not have to want to write because they just want to back from Star Wars. I mean, like, really come in and say like, hey, this is what we want to do, and this is why, and everything else, and make it make sense.
Yeah. Well, I think
look,
too,
the minute they got away from the story group and just started being able to do whatever the fuck they wanted, also really ruined it.
No, I actually like the fact that they got away from the story group and can kind of do it. I think that opens up creativity. It's when you stifle it is when you go back to the things of like, well, we got to make sure it slots into this, and we got to write a Mace Windu book, but we can't do anything original that we haven't seen with Mace Windu before.
But the Mace Windu book was after they started getting away from story group. The High Republic is when they started getting away from story group. Like the Tarkin book was in story group. The Dooku was in story group. Like those were the Ahsoka book was in story group. Those were all books that were in story group. And as soon as they start getting away from it, now it's, well, as long as you ask another author, you're good to go with whatever you want to do. Okay. Like, and we get the High Republic and we get the Mace Windu book. Some guy says he's a Mace Windu fan and he's got a story to tell you about Mace Windu that nobody's heard before. And then you get whatever the hell you're right. Whatever the hell the guy says.
We got a half a year left and we got not one book that we're looking forward to. That's depressing.
I think somebody asked a good question, and I looked forward to some books, but I started reading them, and I just like it's depressing because all I used to look forward to were books coming out because they're like the golden era. And I know JJ's gonna be like, well, back when the Del Rey and but no, I think the golden era of Star Wars writing books really was that short era of like New Dawn to
Alphabet Squadron.
I won't disagree with you.
Yeah, Alphabet Squadron. That's the golden era of writing.
From about 2015 to 20, probably
There's
21.
That's the one we talked about, the Vader one with the guy that thinks he's smarter than Soul. Yeah. Maybe it's good. I hope it's good. But
I was there at that thing. That dude couldn't sell a fucking paper bag to
Marco did not give me much hope because he was in chat. He was in chat like tearing this person to pieces in chat. So
but yeah, I mean, I think that's it. And I think unfortunately they've gotten away from that, and I don't think they're gonna go back, especially with when you're talking to Timothy and he's saying, I don't know when the Thrawn book's gonna come out. And not only just that, but I don't care anymore. Like that's the part that gets you when you got good writers just saying, I don't care anymore.
If you're Claudia Gray, do you write a Star Wars book or do you just go something else?
She got one, she's finishing off on one thing, but she too was kind of on I'm gonna do this one book and
that's it.
I'm gonna do this book and like that sucks because dude, look at the track record of those two authors.
I know.
And you have Man, who, by the way, is starting to create. And look, when you think I'm just negative about everything, I'm not, because my opinion of Man, like I give everybody a fair chance, and if you don't think I do, check out Man.
I'll answer.
Go check out what I used to say about him. Go check out what I say about him now.
Yeah, I'll answer Wookiee Fan's question of what the last book I was excited about was actually a book we did this year that I was disappointed in, which was Reign of the Empire, Alexander Freed. Freed was so good on Alphabet Squadron.
Oh yeah.
I feel like maybe it was because it's like the first in like what's going to be a trilogy by different authors or something. But I did not enjoy that book.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking forward to him writing another book, and I did not.
That book was okay. I gave it like a C, I think.
It wasn't awful, but it was not nearly up to par of what his other.
It had some really dumb parts. Yeah. Mothma turning into a robot. That was
the robot.
Yeah, cyborg Mothma. Solid part was just.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's where I'm saying. Like Story Group used to rein some of that bullshit in, and it doesn't do it anymore. So, and why do they even have a Story Group? Is beyond me.
But they do we have a Story Group?
Yeah, because they're the ones that do the visual guides. They're the ones that tell you that.
They actually work there. I haven't heard from them in 5 years.
Yeah,
Pablo's the only one that
I'll go post like one thing every like year.
Well, yeah, he does, but then like that's what the visual group is. So like Dom repeating all this stuff about the stranger, that's Pablo saying that. That's who he gets it from.
Yeah.
So but is it a story group or is it just Pablo? Yeah, right.
I think Pablo.
Yeah, that didn't.
Pablo said, "I'm done." Like They don't.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta figure
Dave
it
walked
out.
in and said, "Fuck your story group."
I mean,
He
I don't
said,
blame
okay.
him.
Huh?
I don't blame Pablo, but I think Pablo's just like, I'm done. I'm not going to even try.
I'd check out too. Whoa.
But yeah, no, I'm not blaming him for that. I'm not saying that. What? I'm
I get that. The only reason they keep him on is because they don't want him to talk. They can keep writing him checks so he doesn't talk and say negative stuff.
Yeah. Can you imagine what he's got to say about John and Dave?
Man.
Oh,
So
my God.
he just takes them checks so he can't talk.
Cash those checks. All right. Well, I mean, we're not
Anyway,
going
Secret, you still in the news. You didn't even put in the possible rumor of a Obi-Wan season 2.
No, I'm not putting a Daniel RPK book rumor in there.
You could
Dom,
have had that and said what story you would want to see.
Dom,
If they
that
did it.
Daniel RPK will never have a
nothing to do
single
with that.
thing.
You could have ran with it to say which
I'm
story
not running with a fake rumor that has no
I'm just saying the
basis.
fact is that you get content, you make a story.
No, I'm not giving some guy
I'd rather
ability.
make content on that.
You
guy's
are the
content.
most
I'm not
boring
making content on his stuff. No,
Jesus.
there is limits to
Fun.
it. Everybody except for you agree on that one.
Have some
Like,
fun.
Marco's like, no, don't do
You gotta
that.
make things
You're
first. You
like,
don't
no,
put
don't do that.
freaking Keith Connolly in the damn news, which is important. You got
Kenneth,
listen,
What?
Didn't even have his name right. Kenneth Coley.
Kenneth Coley. Connie, whatever his name is.
Not
But I'm just saying the whole fact is that there's news out there you can put in there. You could run with it and
It's
say,
not news.
Hey, if it's a potential rumor, what story would you like to see if they did
No.
a potential? You could do
We
that.
discussed that before.
No, we didn't.
We discussed
We
that.
tried
throughout the
that
entirety
with
of
your
Obi-Wan
story
series.
time, but you were never prepared for it, so we had to cut it. So like in JJ's defense, we did try that before. Okay, well, I'm not gonna stay up all night for that nonsense. All right.
Fucking
Thank
talk
you,
about the
everybody.
boring High Republic, man.
Why don't we talk more High Republic just to make Mark
Let me tell you something. That rumor of Obi-Wan is better than the whole fucking High Republic shit. Come on, man.
Most of you guys hated Obi-Wan.
I will say the
Well,
longest
What are we
line
gonna do with Obi-Wan 2, Dom? Watch him cut more whale meat.
More
No, I'm just
really.
saying, if they do a second season and get it right,
We're
that's
gonna
what
go
I'm trying
ahead.
to say.
What are we gonna do? Watch more Inquisitors that look absolutely nothing about what we fucking know they look like, and
It's
then
a
they go,
fucking
"Well, you don't know
cartoon.
what
They
they
look
look
at
like."
the cartoon. I know what you mean, but the cartoon to freaking goddamn live action is totally different, man.
not Star Wars
Yeah, it is
related.
totally different. That's the problem.
Not Star Wars related, but at Fan Expo, the longest line was Rob Schneider. That line was like hours
Oh
long.
God.
Everybody wanted
ruined my
to hang
night
out
by
with
telling
Rob
that.
Schneider.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal with it. It wasn't post Lucas, because the golden era was actually post Lucas. It was that when Lucas started coming back around.
No, it's when the story group ended and Dave started. It's when the Mando.
Well, that's no. Go look. That's when Dave started getting more power. He started bringing Lucas back.
well, maybe
Lucas,
so, but I really don't.
Lucas is
Think,
always there going, "Hey."
I don't think Lucas cared. Dave cares, unfortunately. I wish Dave didn't care.
He does care. He wants to carry Lucas's legacy out there. That's what he wants to do.
fucking
George never cared
bury
about books.
Star Wars. He wants to bury Star Wars with him.
George Lucas stayed out of the EU and all those
He
books
did
and novels and
completely.
everything.
Listen.
He didn't give a shit about.
If Dave would do that, I'd be so thrilled. Be like, yeah, you write about Filoni. I don't care. I'm just not going to use it. Cool. Let's get good
Right
books.
about Thrawn, nobody gives a shit. Okay.
Yeah, good. You write about Ahsoka. You do what you do. Get so many better stories.
Yeah, is there any way we can get to him? Like, we gotta play the reverse double, right? Like, oh, you're so smart. You're right. Why do you? Yeah, you should just let. You know what you should do is just let people write books, because then you could just do stuff on TV shows and prove them how much smarter you are than them, right? Because right now people are saying they're smarter than you, and you won't let them write stuff like the Thrawn book. You won't let them finish the trilogy. Why not let them finish it? Because you're gonna do a better Thrawn anyways, right? You made that popular great. Like, talk to them like a little moron. Like, do that type of stuff.
If Marco stops fishing, that's when he'll put chapters on. He does it when he feels like it.
Yeah,
Marco
bro.
Pete
Between,
responsibility.
I mean, come on, man. I mean,
Let's be honest,
get
it's
on
some
it
random
all.
bullshit. That's why you freaking talk about some of the
Right.
crap, man. But that's okay.
Hey, I sent a couple pictures of my life this weekend. My life is great, dude. What I wasn't doing was fucking trying to chapter YouTube bullshit. Anybody can chapter it. Just saying, including you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
I
Feel
don't think
free.
I can. I think I've tried to do.
Yeah, you
something
can. You just do it in the
before.
comments. You just go into the comments. You chapter
That's
it.
not chaptering though. That's just putting timestamps.
That's what.
Maybe chapter
That's
like
what they
actual
want.
the
That's all they
video is
want.
actually cut.
That's all they want.
That's all they want.
No, it does. It cuts it at those parts. It does. Yeah.
All
All right.
right.
Cool. All right.
We'll
Well,
let
I'll
Marco
see
do
y'all
it.
later.
It's after midnight for them finally.
It's
So
too
we
late.
made it.
Jesus. Fuck your High Republic novel.